For here, it got a little heated. I'm glad to have you back. I mean, not between me and you, but the crowd was losing their shit.
Over flat Earth, yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
And then they try to debunk it and go, "Oh shit, oh shit."
Hey, I want to thank you for making the movie, getting it on Amazon, getting it on my radar. I want to do everything I can to share it. It's kind of interesting. 15 years ago, I was sitting in front of a coffee shop in Berkeley, and this lady walked by, and she's like, "Don't you understand? You can't be on your phone while they're spraying." And I'm like, "You crazy bitch!" And then, and then about 5 years ago, not even 5 years ago, probably like 5 years ago, I remember telling a friend, seeing that they were doing some weird shit in Alameda County, spraying, and in the Bay Area, and at the old Navy Yard. And I remember telling one of my friends about it, and he goes, "Dude, you've really gone off the deep end." And then I'm like, "No, dude, this is a government website. I'm on their shit." And then I watch your movie. So anyway, thank you. It's so important that you wake us up one by one, and I appreciate it. Can you tell me, before we get into the movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon. It's brand new. It says new on it. Climate Trails 2025. Sean Hibbeler.
Hibbeler.
Hibbeler. Yeah. That extra R in there always jacks me up. Like, am I doing it right? Thank you, Caleb. Caleb, did you get the show notes? You the man. And Sean, this is Matt Souza down here.
What's up, Matt?
Matt, Sean. How did this pop on your radar? And were you like, did you call bullshit the first time you heard it?
No, man. I don't know. To be honest, the who I call the star of the film is Kristen Megan, and she woke me up. The military whistleblower. She woke me up like 12 years ago, man. So it's been a long time. It's been on my radar. I made a short YouTube film years ago, probably like 2017-ish, called Look Up. And it did really well on YouTube. And then I think within a year and a half, they just banned it, took it down, gave me a strike. So after that, I was like, I'll come back to this topic when the time's right. And I was trying to not only build my career, but figure out a way to make films for the masses. And how do I go about doing that if YouTube's not going to allow me to do it? So, I have, this film technically is like my new network, the Enlightened Network. I mean, it's our premiere film. And I got a team of people together. It's very hard to do the stuff on my own. And I've been doing it on my own for so long that just having one person help, let alone many, and we're all on the same page. So it's like, hey, let's, and it's kind of like, they kind of looked at me like, well, what topic do you want to start with? What do you want to do? What kind of film? And what are we shooting for? And I'm like, they took Look Up down. I've never got over it. I'm like, we have to do geoengineering, chemtrails, because, all these states are trying to ban it. And at the time, Tennessee just banned it. I'm like, oh, perfect. Let me call who got this bill announced, who got this bill through, who's the main guy to get this, because it's not about the governor signing it. That's all they did. It's about who got the bill proposed, who put the work in. And
Sean, I just want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
I just typed in on YouTube to see what the fuck was going on. I thought maybe when we set up the show, we forgot to put it on YouTube. I've never seen 20 people watching our show. I've never seen it less than like immediately when we go on, jump to 100 and then start climbing. Like, this is crazy.
I know.
I'm not that guy, but is that your name?
It could be, man. I've had some bad press. I've had some haters come at me. I mean, this is a war we're in. We're in a war. So, I mean, the tech gods are not a fan of mine for sure. I've touched on a lot of topics, and I've kind of bent corners to get it out to the people, because what they want to do is go ahead.
Any issues with getting it on Amazon? Any issues with that?
Well, it's not that it was issues. It's that there's a way to do it, and you got to be smart about it. I'll get to that in 1 second, but I just wanted to finish saying, as soon as I heard Tennessee banned it, I got a hold of State Rep Monty Fritz, who was the guy to do it. And once Chris and Megan said no first. She didn't want to be a part of any film. She's turned down everybody. And then finally she called me back a week later and was like, I'll do it. She's like, you're the only guy that I can trust with this. That's not going to smear it. Like, you're the real deal. I'll do it. I'm like, holy shit. Okay. Once I got Kristen, once Monty Fritz said, yeah, then it was like, okay, this is a green light. We have to keep going with this and dig into it. But Yeah, with Amazon, you know, a lot of people think that you make a film and it's true and it's something that you know the government and the media is trying to hide. That of course it will never get on Amazon Prime. How could it? Right? It's they're mainstream. But what I did was research my ass off on how do films get on Amazon to begin with, because there's got to be something we can do to get it on there. Like realistically, what can we do? Like, how does this work? You know, I've never looked into it because of that same kind of excuse where of course it's not going to be on there. And what I found was you have to use, there's not many, by the way. I think it's like 5 or 6, maybe 7. Only certain lenses they allow. So we have to buy the right lens. We have to use there's only certain cameras they allow on top of that. So you have to do the combination of the camera that they select, the lens that they're specific of. You need to go through a film aggregator, and which costs a lot of money. So there you go. That's one thing that not a lot of people know. It ain't free. They took that away. I make a joke about it, but when I released Level back in 2021, I put because there used to be something on Amazon called Amazon Prime Direct, where you yourself can make a film and upload it to the servers and rent it out or just put it out there, right? And that was still going on in 2021. And it was right as I put the trailer out for Level, because of that information, I put coming to Amazon Prime. Why wouldn't I? I know I read how to do it. You upload it, you cool. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to put this on Prime. Let's go. And quickly, literally, like, I think it was like within a week, Amazon worldwide announced no more video Prime Direct, no more. We're done. Now, I'm not blaming Level. I'm just saying that sucked for me because I was like, damn, I just put the trailer out and everybody's like, it's not going to be on Prime now. Because when Level came out, everybody's like, I don't see it on Prime. You know, it kind of goes over their head, the news. And I'm like, yeah, they revoked the right to do that. So even then is the point I gave up on Amazon. But once I actually looked and researched hard, you gotta go with their rules, right? This lens, this camera, film aggregator who's licensed. I use Bitmax for everybody, just so they know. I use Bitmax. But there's a few. There's
what
a
is that? Bitmax. Oh, Bitmax is the aggregator.
Film aggregator. Yeah, they're the aggregator who's licensed. What they do, because I had a good relationship.
Were they concerned?
You know, I had a good relationship with the guy that was in, I guess you'd call it, you know, he handled the account itself for the project. And he gave me a lot of pointers and stuff. So shout out to Nathan. But it was one of those things where he's like, we'll see. He was more of like the we'll see guy. We'll see, you know, should be fine. And there's something that they do first. So Bitmax runs it through something called quality control. They call it QC in the business. And because I knew I did my homework beforehand, like before we even shot this film, the goal was Amazon. Here, I'm just telling you guys.
It's beautifully shot. It's beautifully shot, beautifully edited. Picks up slowly, and then at the halfway mark, it's off to the races. It's like bam, bam.
I get that, and the pickup slowly part is kind of, you know, I need to build it. I need to build.
Yes, it all started making sense.
Yeah, I need to build the military background. I need to build Francis Mangels, rest in peace. I need to build Francis Mangels' bio, you know, his the science and the biology background. 30 years. Here's this old guy, like, dude, I've done all the tests. So I needed to build kind of their characters in a sense, even though they're real, they're not characters. And that sounds weird, but I need to build it so that people know who's talking, you know, because anyone can watch the documentary and be like, well, who the F is this? You know, who cares?
And the harp stuff.
Yeah.
When because I remember during COVID, they were like, hey, what are they injecting into us? And some people are like, hey, maybe they're injecting metals into us. And then they're going to release a G5, Wi-Fi 5, whatever that thing was.
5G.
5G. And God, I really am getting old. And they were going to release the 5G, and then somehow they were going to fucking make little robots form inside of us. And I remember reading that shit. And then all of a sudden, here it is again, putting aluminum in the air, metals in the air. And now they have these towers that can control metal, or at least just do something to metal. And so that was like pieces that you allowed us to connect from the beginning to the end of the movie. Like it really hit hard. I got to the end, I was like, oh shit. This shit again.
Yeah. Even the end is a tearjerker for a lot of people that I know. I just, you know, it's always been my passion. Everything I've done really is it's really, I'm not making it at all as weird as it sounds for the people that know about it. I'm just not. That's not my concern, man.
Yeah, good.
It's for my neighbor that's you know, we're all lunatics. It's like, okay, what, you know, so when I'm producing it, when I'm in the editing room and for hours and weeks and months, and I'm putting the eyeballs in myself of that neighbor, right? I'm trying to be them as I'm editing, and I'm trying to make decisions of the storyline and what to show at that moment to help them. It's a 101. Most things I do are 101s in a sense because they don't know. They just don't know. It's like some people are like, oh, I knew that back in 2014. Yeah, but I didn't make it for you. I didn't make it for you.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care. I knew too. Like I didn't make it for you. So none of this is really advanced. But I also had some people that have known about chemtrails for years, like us, and they're like, dude, I learned a lot in this. And I'm like, wait, you didn't know something? They're like, we didn't know that. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. We didn't know how that worked. We didn't know that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now I can finally say, hey, you know, both sides can enjoy it at least.
You took the crazy out of the film, right? So you're watching it, and everyone in there feels extremely reputable. It's like you said, you built the people up. One of the first thing that really my big takeaway, which I'll probably end up sharing for the rest of my life, was I never understood the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. Do you want to explain that and how easy it is to tell the difference? When you told me that, that's like I ran and told my wife. I was like, oh, I got this shit figured out.
Well, yeah, I mean, the contrails are normal. Contrails have always been here when the conditions are right in the sky. You know, you see American Airlines cruising along at cruising altitude, or even, you know, on their way down to land, possibly. It just depends on the conditions, but you'll see a trail of condensation coming out of the back. So it's like a tail but it's following them, right? So that tail always follows them as they travel. Sometimes they can get a little long depending on the conditions, but the point of contrails is within a minute, it's gone. So if you have a clear blue sky, guys, and you're looking up and you see a plane, is that plane spraying? Just give it a minute, because after a minute, you'll know right away, oh no, it's back to blue sky again. So that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. A chemtrail is something. Yeah, there you go. That's not normal. And that's the thing, is they've normalized all this in all their movies and brainwashing that it's normal. Like these are just contrails. These are called persistent contrails. They last. And you know, the definition of a persistent contrail is like, it still says up to a minute, basically, in a sense, right? So it's like, no, those lasted all day. And those turned into like a yellow film cloud looking thing above my entire area. And it's like, well, that's coming down on us. We're breathing it in. We're eating it. We're drinking it technically too. So, yeah, it's messed up, man. And, you know, there are people that have waken up to this by literally their own optics, and it's that easy. And because I've seen it many times. I don't know if you guys have, but I've seen it where you see an American Airlines or Delta cruising by with contrails, and right by it are someone spraying chemtrails. It's like, wait, hold on. If the conditions are right, all the airplanes would do the same thing. They're right in the same airspace. But this guy, and I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen this too, but for your audience, there's also tons of videos out there that you'll see the guy spraying, and then he shuts them off, and then he turns them back on in the mile, you know? So he'll take a break. He'll spray, stop, and then start spraying again. Now, and I was just on a podcast where they were super hating on me. Like they were, I don't know if it was a setup, but it was just a show that acted like they were super nice. And I come on there and they're like, there's no such thing as chemtrails. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, are you guys brain dead? I'm like, they're like, well, you didn't prove. They're like, you didn't prove it in the film. I'm like, how many angles of chemtrails spraying do I have to show?
What about the video where she? What about the video where she actually goes to the airport at 1 a.m. and talks to the pilots? How about at the end when you say that the United Kingdom is going to try to dim the sun, and I immediately Google it, and there it is on the United Kingdom's website, on their government website. They're going to try to fucking dim the sun in a small part of the United Kingdom.
That's what pisses me off, is when people are, I mean, you can hate on me all you want, but at the same time, it's like, you can't be brain dead on your own show. I'm going to destroy you guys. Like and I'm usually one to be nice in non-echo chambers, but like the way they were acting was kind of condescending. So I just became a prick at that point. Like I literally basically calling them retarded at that point, because, you know, what do you mean I didn't prove? Like, what did you see in the film that wasn't spraying chemtrails, that wasn't testing the rain, that wasn't testing the soil, that, like, what are you talking about? So that, you know, they're very combative, but the easiest thing to take from that is, you know, it's a spiritual war we're in. There are people out there that want to accept this as normal, and it's not normal. None of this is normal. But yes, the only thing normal about it is that the normalization of it all is they have continued because and Josh in the film, one of the EPs, but he's also an author. And I'm like, look, he has a lot of information. Just you want to have everyday folk in this to relate to the audience. They're everyday people watching. And he made a good point, man, because it's one of these things where, when the conspiracy theory, quote unquote, of chemtrails came out a long time ago, they quickly deny it. Everything's deny. And then they go right to, well, hey man, people are waking up to this. So what do we do now? Well, you make fun of it. You poke at it, right? That's the next step. They make fun of it. They call you tinfoil. They quickly want the control back because people are waking up. So they're going to call us loony and crazy and everything. And then once more people wake up where that shit's not working, that's when they accept it, but they make up a new lie. Oh no, we're just blocking the sun.
There's a great line in the movie where they go to the airport and they're talking to the two pilots who were spraying over the night, and the lady goes to she tracks the plane using the airplane tracker, follows it to the airport. She sneaks in there with a phone, and she's like, I don't remember the exact, I'll paraphrase. She's like, yeah, you're spraying it so it'll rain more. He goes, no, we're not. We're spraying it more so it'll snow more. Like, you fucking idiot.
And that's kind of
like, holy shit, he just said it.
That's kind of the twist. It's a twist because they knew they were backed into a corner at that point. That was towards the end of the conversation. They knew they were backed into the corner, and
she was great, by the way. She handled that.
Catherine,
perfect.
Yeah. I mean, she even gave step-by-step directions on how to track these jets so you can know. I mean, because you'll see their path. So everyone listening, if you pull up Flight Radar 24 and you open it up, you say it's noon tomorrow, and you see American Airlines cruising, they're just going somewhere, right? And you're like, all right, let's pull up the app and see what's going on with this jet. And you look, everything looks normal, but you just want to track it. And you see that it left Boston and it's going to Idaho, straight shot. You'll see the route. It's a straight line, right? It's a straight line. All flights are level, I'm just saying, but it's a straight line. That makes sense is my point. So you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then you got one and they're doing zigzags over an area back and forth. You're like, what? Where are you going, dude? And the crazy part about the conversation with the pilots was that if you watch the beginning stage when she's actually attacking them about spraying metals, did they deny anything? No. Did they call her crazy? Did they say, what are you talking about? Aluminum and barium. What are you talking about? They didn't act surprised. They acted like, hey, we got to pass the buck. Oh, that's not our department. Yeah, that's not our department.
He said, we know you see us. She's like, I see you guys doing it. This is the second time you did it today. He goes, we know you're watching us.
Yeah, we know you're watching us. Like, we know people down there are looking up at us, but you got to talk to our bosses. That's not our department. You got to talk to them. And at no point were they in denial. At no point were they calling her crazy. At no point and it's like all the naysayers on this topic that call us crazy for even speaking about this. I don't know why we can't ask questions and point fingers and go, look at that. What is that? But you guys are crazy. Yeah, but these pilots didn't call her crazy. They didn't say, what are you talking about, lady? Which you would expect. I'm being completely transparent with you guys. You would completely expect that from the pilots at that point to go, what are you talking about, lady?
They knew. Yeah,
just full denial.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm tripping on YouTube right now. I'm so tripping right now on these numbers. I've never seen this.
Did you see what people were saying, that it wasn't populating for them? They had to go into the.
Yeah, they didn't get a notification. Yeah. So I want to go back to when they
Sean, not Hibbeler. You should have just put Sean. Then everything would have been fine.
When you had levels taken down off of, we had our during COVID, we said that the best thing you can do for your health is to exercise and eat a healthy diet, and that builds the biggest hedge against all disease. And we had our station taken down for a week because that goes against WHO guidelines for medical advice, I guess. Okay. And what's ironic is I Googled Google, what's the best thing you can do for your health? And I got that as the first thing, which was crazy. But I wasn't inciting violence. I wasn't saying anything's wrong. Like, did they give you a reason why? I know that they're horrible at that, but did they tell you why? Like, why can't you say, I just don't know. Is it that big of a thing?
What, chemtrails?
I mean, Yeah, I guess I don't realize, like, is it big World Economic Forum shit, depopulation shit, or like I just assumed it was just scientists who got funding and got kind of getting away from themselves. You said it's a spiritual warfare. I don't really understand that either.
Well, because I mean, there are some people that think that the people that are spraying have bosses that are not even human like, where they actually feed off this aluminum, these heavy metals. This is the environment that they feed off of, that they thrive for, they live off of. Now that's a conspiracy, of course. But for me, the real reason, and yeah, I mean, like everything with vaccines and everything else, it's a depopulation type of situation where, it's easier for human beings to get sick if they're living in unfair conditions and breathing in poison every single day. Because we all know aluminum is a main cause of Alzheimer's and of dementia. And we went over this in the film that 30 and 40-year-olds are getting dementia and Alzheimer's now. How the hell is that happening? So it's, even if you look at it as I call it the minimum effect of these toxins that we're breathing in, it's just to keep us docile, keep us, just kind of just zoned out, man. And not really, because it gets in the blood, past the blood-brain barrier, it gets into our brain. They're just trying to give us kryptonites to all humans from all facets, in the drinking water, in our food, in the air we breathe. So if we're always being poisoned, then how can we really, flourish as humans? And how can we destroy the evil on this earth? Because, yeah, and the biggest kickback I get is, well, they're breathing it in too. It's like, yeah, but Dr. Kaufman in this film went over how to detox from this, how humans can detox from these metals in our brain. So you think a normal doctor, everyday doctor is going to know this, but they don't know how to detox? They don't have some magic way to it's just out of their system. Not only that, but I also think, just like NASA employees, they're not all lying to you. They're just under the hypnosis of it all. And I think that some of these chemtrail pilots, and
that guy was oblivious. He's just collecting a paycheck, is what I took.
Correct. That's my point. So do they know they're breathing this stuff, or what they're doing? They're doing to their family. Sure, but maybe they don't think it's as bad as we know it is. Or maybe they're told. Maybe they're told they're spraying something else. If you think about it, maybe they're just told, "Hey, you're just spraying mosquito repellent, man. Just go out there and do it." Because we went over this in the film too. Is Weather Modification Inc. is one of the big. Not a big player, because the military, NASA, and others are, and DARPA, they're big players, but these smaller, contracts, right? But they're in every state through the NOAA library. But Weather Modification Inc. is one of the biggest ones. That company itself, and Weather Modification Inc. If you go to their website and you want to apply to be a pilot, you have to sign an NDA. They tell you have to be discreet. If you get this job, discretion is a must. Well, what do you mean discreet about?
Do you think they're doing it like as a form, like they're doing it for the betterment of everybody? I mean, you even see that in a lot of ideology that you could see is taking people down this path that is just going to be horrible, right? The long-term effect of it. But at the same time, maybe they're like justifying it as like, oh no, I'm on the good side. So then therefore, how could it be wrong?
That's true. I mean, I think some of these pilots, again, are under the hypnosis of it all. Where, hey, you're going to make it rain today. You're going to help the wind. You're going to help bring snow. It's going to help everybody. And they could just be lied to, and they have to sign a contract, and they make a lot of money, I would assume, to do it. But then, of course, I think that there's some evil, sinister people that know exactly what they're doing to us and enjoy it and get off on it, technically, right? So you're going to have both sides of that field.
And if you have people buying the climate change narrative, let's say you have half the people in the United States buying that, then it's going to be really easy to find pilots and secretaries and scientists who are like, yeah, I'm part of this thing that's going to create more rain.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And they don't give it a second thought. It's the same thing with abortion. They couch it as it's women's sexual reproductive rights, and with no mention of like, hey, maybe you killed a baby, and you're killing a baby. They just don't.
Under the hypnosis. Yeah. They're just, it's just hypnotic phase that these people are in. But I still think that there's pilots out there that know, and the pilots out there that know what's going on, because they're, especially like an American airline pilot who looks up while they're flying and goes, what the fuck are they doing up there? Jeez. Yeah. You think that they're going to go on, mainstream media or even alternative mainstream media in a sense, and blow the whistle and get fired? No. I mean, that's the problem, is they corner so many people that want to talk. They want to speak. I reach out to pilots, You know, one guy wanted to do it where he was blacked out, his face, and then we changed his voice and and I can't do that, man, because when I look at those in the documentaries, I'm like, that could be anybody. So
Right.
like, I'm just not a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite. I can't do that. But I also respect the fact it sucks, but I respect the fact that, you know, they don't want to lose their job. I get it, you know, but someone eventually is going to have to be like, fuck this job. I'm sorry to swear, but you know, that's just the way it is. They're going to have to do that in order to push it forward. But as so many whistleblowers and tattletellers of their own industry, they just get called loony and they get made fun of in an article, and people move on. So we need a lot of people to stand up and put a stop to this. But this film's a starting point. You know, it's a starting point. You see everybody like Tucker Carlson now talking about this, having Dane Winnington on, you know, that's huge. I mean, we got to keep going because, you know, right now, more than half the country is trying to ban it. I think once we get all 50 states banning it, now it's all the pressure goes on the federal government at that point. And what pisses me off the most are these Trump and RFK Jr. dick riders. Look, I don't care if you like them, that's fine, but that's fun. No. I mean that honestly. I don't care if you like them and you like stuff they do. That's completely fine. I don't like liars. So when RFK tweets 9 months ago, he tweeted a picture of chemtrails, just like the picture you showed earlier with a million of them everywhere. He tweeted that on his own, RFK Jr., and said, we're going to put a stop to this crime, period. And that's what he wrote. And I'm like, thank God. I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's go. And 9 months later, there's stuff in the sky in every state still.
Oh, but that's huge. Sean, you don't give him a little bit of love for that? Like
I give him love for it. Look, man, I give love to anyone that raises awareness. But the point I'm trying to make, Savannah, is this. If you were Trump and I was RFK, and I tweeted that 9 months ago, it would take me and you a day to chase those bastards down, arrest them on site. They're doing nothing. We control the airspace, Trump. I'm talking to you as Trump. We control the airspace. We can send our military to go and arrest them on site. No one will ever spray again starting tomorrow. It's that easy and that simple. The problem is some of the military is actually doing the spraying. NASA's doing the spraying. So what do you do at that point? Nothing. And that's why I feel like they want to stir that pot of, look, I like the truth. Look at all the truthers are going to love this. And they're going to love me. And then when nothing happens, like my entire life, when presidents or anyone in the office say they're going to do anything that the people want, they actually want it, release the files, right? Anything you want, they don't give. They're not going to give. They're going to say they're going to do it. They said it. Like, we're going to release the 9/11. We're going to tell you exactly what happened in 9/11. You didn't say shit. So you can talk tick. Eventually, and again, you guys it might take time to get to where I am, but you just leave the camp like, man, you guys are all the fucking same. You guys are all the same. Right. But at the same time, all these white hat people that are like, look, they're just playing 12D chess right now. Look, I hope you're right. I'm not going to shit on that idea. I hope you're right. But man, it's taken them a long time to
has anyone that ever senior in government ever even acknowledged the chemtrails?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be, because there's over 32, 34 maybe states right now that are trying to ban it. So that's legislation statewide. So that's government. That is government.
And you explained very clearly in the movie. Sorry, go ahead. I'll remember.
No, I was saying federal.
Yeah.
Besides the RFK tweet, I think Trump at one point mentioned something about spraying, and we got to stop it, you know, and it gets all viral with the truth community. And it's like, look, Trump's going to stop. All right, man, takes them an hour. Hey, military, just all these private contractors, shut NASA down tomorrow, shut down the wing of the military that's doing it to their own people. They don't do shit, man. There's so much money involved with this. And just as a depopulation tactic, they know how important it is. You know, same thing with big pharma. They could sit there all day. We're going to take aluminum out of vaccines. Yeah, what about mercury? What about baby fetus cells? What about monkey cells? What about all this other stuff that causes the same? And I don't even think that there's a disease out there in the past 20, 30 years that is not a vaccine injury. That's exactly what diseases are.
By the way, so I just pulled up this article. This doesn't help my case at all.
What did it say? What did it say?
This is Trump officials' recent attempt to dispel concerns about chemtrails has perplexed and angered some experts who say the administration itself has promoted the conspiracy theory while also spreading climate misinformation. This is an intriguing strategy in the administration that, depending on the agency, is actively promulgating conspiracy theories early. This is the Guardian.
Yeah.
So who
They'll
knows?
twist the words regardless, but again, it's one of those things where I think you guys can all agree with me. Love Trump and RFK or not, it doesn't matter. But you guys are sensible men. It's not hard to stop it. They're not stopping it.
Who gave them permission in the first place? Did they just start doing it, or was it something that they had to seek permission for?
No, well, I think it's just a new tactic to poison humanity. That's all. It's like, what else can we do to poison humanity? Fluoride might have been first. They put that in the water, and then they're like, well, what else can we do? And they just roll it out.
But so I think what Souza is saying is, so you state very clearly in the movie, and you explain that even as these state laws and local laws pass, they don't have control or jurisdiction over 1,000 feet.
4,000.
So 4,000. Okay. And so what you're saying is enough of the states ban it. That should get the attention from the federal government. But Souza's saying in the first place, like, isn't there some sort of like littering law or something that they're doing that should already federal law that should encompass that?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they the government works for us, guys. And they don't treat it that way. It's supposed to be, whether you're atheist or not, it's supposed to be God first, humans second, animals third, in my opinion. And then the government, they work for us. And what the government has done is put them above God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably animals second somehow. I'm just giving them credit. And then humans
and God second.
But humans and God are at the very bottom to them. And everything's been flipped. So,
and is that why you say it's the spiritual war of the side of it too? Is it about the hierarchy of that and the way that people? Because I fully believe too that there's a certain thing, and we see it all the time, of like almost this dumbing down of the population, whether it's through the food, whether it's through our water, whether it's through what they're putting in the air and the soil. But you see this real lack of critical thinking that is happening, and it's really just about like, we'll obey. And by the way, if you question it, even if you just ask simple questions about it, now you're the weirdo, you're the outsider, you're the conspiracy theorist, and you've been bucketed into that group, and we're going to outcast you, which there puts a fear against me questioning or saying anything because I don't want to be an outsider.
He does address this in the movie, by the way. It says, I get what he's saying, but these people who are doing this have to live in the same environment. They're trying to modify. Have they not considered this? Yeah, that's addressed in the movie. And Sean addressed it here too. That not everyone in the company needs to know that they're doing bad shit. They've probably convinced 90% of the people who work there, 95%, that they're helping climate change.
Yep.
These numbers are tripping me out. These numbers, I am tripping. I am tripping.
It's not the first time I've heard this when I go on shows, so that's my fault. At the same time, to the extent of that comment, it's, I get pushed back a lot about the NASA stuff I go over in my films and what I've said for 10 years now. And, the kickback I'll get is like, well, my aunt works for NASA. What is she lying to the whole? I'm like, dude, she doesn't know.
Right.
Why would she know? She prints magazines. Like, what you think that she's in the know? Like, and for the people, like, there's got to be tons of people that are lying. There got to be so many people in on this. No, there's not. You can go to any company, any big name company. Go, do you know what the owner's doing right now? They have no idea. Half of them don't even know. The employees don't even know the owner's names. So you don't know. You can go to CNN and be like, what are the top bosses up to right now? What are they doing? Like, what's their plan for this show? They don't know. They're not in the know. So the ones that are doing this to us, it's a very small group, in my opinion. But they know how to do this, where they do it with so many other things, where they have all the peasants doing the dirty work, and they cover it up by, just NDAs, money, and don't say anything, threats, who knows? But at the same time, I think it's pretty common knowledge that if you whistleblow, something could happen to you. And I think that's why they have people that are outed in public that say too much, that turn their back on the establishment, and they take them out, and they want to publicize that because they don't want copycats. They want somebody, even Alex Jones, they'll love him or hate him, when they're going after him about the school. I'll just say the school. When they're going after him about that, to me, because there's some people that think that whole thing was staged. I don't know. I don't know them. But my point is this: to me, they're going after Alex Jones publicly for $1 billion so that you don't look into it. And if you do, you don't say anything.
It's a modern day public hanging.
Correct. They want to scare us.
Yeah.
I didn't follow Alex Jones closely back then. That was He said Columbine was fake.
No, it was you're not really supposed to say it on the air, but it's
You can. We're already fucked.
Sandy Hook.
Oh,
It's
Sandy Hook.
It's Sandy Hook, yeah.
What state was that in? Was that in Texas?
That was, oh man, it's been so long. That was, look it
Sandy
up.
Hook Elementary. Where is that?
Newtown, Connecticut. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Connecticut.
That's great. By the way, that's crazy that it was $1 billion. That's just fucking. That's just.
It's just financial ruin. They just try to put it to where you could just never get out from underneath the thumb of the owing of the money.
And that's the thing too, is the pushback. It's like, for me, you do that to me, I'm going harder in the paint.
You got to lose at that point.
I'm going harder in the paint, and I got too many people in my phone book that'll go harder in the paint too. But that's the whole point. I'm not famous enough. They don't give a shit about me, but they give a shit about people like Alice Jones, who's got a multi-million fan base with 200 radio stations broadcasted. So he can't be talking about stuff like that. But to go after him for $1 billion, it's like, wait, hold on. What's the real motive there? I think the motive is so people go, well, I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about chemtrails. Maybe I shouldn't talk about NASA. Maybe I shouldn't. You got to watch your mouth. You can get sued. I'm not going to name names, but a very famous person that I know said, like, I don't want to talk about that on my show. I don't want to talk about X, Y, and Z because of what's going on with Alex. And well, that's the point. That's why they're doing it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it. Fuck that. To me, same thing with Charlie. They don't want people out there debating real topics. So boom, learn. Hey, look how many people canceled their debate that weekend. They're scared. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to. That's not all of it, but that's partial. That's what they want. They want people to go, I'm not debating anymore. And I'm starting a debate league right now. Literally, the Enlightened Network is starting a debate league with Sam Tripoli and Andrew Wilson and Ben Swan.
Wow.
And it's already green lit. So, when they, like, for me, I'm the type of person, you don't want us doing something. We're going to do it harder. We're going to do it bigger. Fuck you.
But you're right. That was a fear tactic for sure.
I have no fear.
You're the Enlightened Network. Is that on you? Do you have a YouTube channel for that?
Yeah, we don't promote on YouTube or nothing. We don't. We just dropped Climate Trails, so that's our first film. But we're doing films. We're doing live events. We got a comedy show we're working out right now for next Memorial Day next year. We're doing different things, not just truth documentaries, but truth documentaries is my passion. So that's kind of the part of the company that I am going to consistently get out there and keep self-funding. I want to self-fund projects. In order to self-fund projects, you need funds. In order to have funds, you got to do things. You got to create new businesses. You got new ideas, new innovations. How can we revolutionize debates? How can we revolutionize this? How can we make them bigger than ever, more entertaining than ever? And then what you do is, when money comes from these projects, now you go out there and make a new documentary that can help the world. And that's my focus with the Enlightened Network, is helping the world through documentaries. But yeah, we're in the process. We're a business. We're a new business. We're going to be, there's going to be multiple documentaries coming out. This is just our first. But at the same time, my job on this earth is to wake up the masses. And to me, to be honest, you can do that with debates too.
Yeah. The debates are going to be awesome. Yeah. What do you have a date by any chance? A launch date?
Yeah, January 10th is going to be live in Atlantic City. It's going to be about 3,000 people there sitting live, and it's going to be broadcasted to the world.
And it looks like Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube.
For now, yeah. I mean, we're that could change any moment. We're going to be talking to Rumble soon about some things.
Will you stay in touch and tell me what channel so I don't miss it?
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, of course.
Do you have an email list? Do you have a newsletter?
No.
Okay.
No.
How many movies have you made, Sean?
How many movies?
Yeah.
Well, in terms of, if you want to call them feature films, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 I did mainly by myself in a sense. But before that, for 10 years, I was making compilation videos, short films, things, but from a secondhand perspective, where it's not my own camera. I was just making films out of research and other videos and putting things together to make sense of things. But that's when I kind of flipped the switch in my own head, when they shut everything down with the bullshit lockdowns, And I was out of a 9 to 5. I haven't had a 9 to 5 since, because that they fucked with the wrong one at that point. Cause I'm like, well, I got to do something to make a living. Well, let me try it. And that was the first film I made, was Level. And I'm like, let me try to put it out and rent it out and see if the community would support it. And by golly, they did. And they're like, keep going, man. You're the guy to do this. Keep going. Do other topics. Do big films. Do bigger films. Get better every year. Keep getting better. Keep getting bigger. And that's when I decided last year to go, okay, maybe I need a team, because, you know, now we can look at this from different perspectives. And now we can make films that, you know, down the road, where film festivals, possibly movie theaters, who knows? And people that kind of kick back like, wait, no, you're in the truth community. You're this, that. No, man, I am. I've been doing this for more than 10 years, but I'll tell you, nothing's more powerful, as I notice now, than the masses waking up from a film on Amazon Prime. Because people are like, why are you going to put on Prime? Fuck Bezos. That's a terrible system. Like, we don't support them. I'm like, I don't support Amazon. No, man. It's not for me. It's not for you. This is not how we help the world, man, especially the country. We can't help this country by catering to our own audience, catering to just like the BitChute and the Rumble crowd, and just cater to them. And, you know, it's like, no, this is my career. This is my new network. We want to be the new HBO in the future. We want to be, but we want to give you truth, transparency, and no, you know, compromisation from big corporations and people strangling us with, you know, no, you can't say this, you can't say that. Fuck you. I say whatever I want, and we're going to do whatever we want. And that's dangerous, right? It's dangerous to the establishment, but I don't have fear, man. And this is how you can help humanity with the help from God, is you don't have fear. You keep moving forward. You keep going down that road of righteousness, and knowing that all you want to do is help our neighbors with, and it stems from love. See, Hollywood and what they've been doing stems from the opposite of love. It's hate. It's Satanism. It's PDF files, right? It's all this stuff. This whole cabal of Hollywood is now exposed. And that's why, to me, Hollywood's closed, burn it down. I'm done with them. You guys should be done with them. And people keep, you know, they know about it, but yet they still rent Forrest Gump for $10 on Amazon or something, right? It's like, what are you doing? Stop supporting it. And stop yelling at me for renting out a life-changing film for your family for $4.99 while you're still renting Hollywood trash. I don't want to hear it anymore. And that's why we're here to take over. You know, we want to be the HBO of the future. We want to take over all entertainment, all TV shows, all films, all movies, all documentaries. And this, we're going to just continue to grow. That's all we're going to do.
I have I've had other people on here who were, I don't know if the appropriate term, but flat earthers. And they would say to me, hey, you're either stupid or you're faking it, that you don't know the earth is flat. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's not like a very nurturing way to try to bring me along. Right.
I don't talk like that, but yeah.
And so that's why I like this movie so much, Climate Trails, because you could have just gone off into, I mean, it's clear that there's so many things you touch on that could be just films of their own. Like you just brush up against controlling, how big can it get to controlling the weather? How far does it go behind cloud seeding? And you talk about HARP, right? Yeah. But you don't go, because if you go too far that way, then it almost like it gives people who aren't believers ammo that, oh, this is too crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, just like a little bit. Here you go. Here's some websites. Here's some proof. Here's some live video of us talking to pilots who are caught. Yeah, this thing's crazy.
Oh, and that's what I try to do, Savan, is I try to plant seeds.
This movie,
to me, the most powerful way to wake up or know the truth of what's really going on in the world is self-truth. You have to do the research. What I do in this film is I bring people to many different doors. It's that when the film's over, they need to walk through those doors, man. Because you know why I want them to walk through it rather than trying to push them through? I want them to walk through those doors, aka research for themselves. I want them to walk through the doors because that's the number one way to wake up is learning it yourself, looking into it and going, wait a minute, this is really going on. Wait a minute. I go into the Knoll library and I typed in my state and I see there's a contract of them spraying. You know, there's monthly contracts, yearly contracts, weekly contracts. You could see it's all public. And that's their grand deception of it all is people think that, well, they wouldn't do this to us. They admit it. Revelation of the method is a real thing. This is what they get off on. They have to tell us. And to go back on the flat earth thing just quickly, I'm not one to talk like that. I would never talk that to you or anyone that doesn't believe it or doesn't know it. But it's the same thing with revelation of the method. That's usually what I start with. You guys know what revelation of the method is?
It's touched upon in your film, not using those words, but where they people who are deceiving us have to tell us the truth.
They have to, or they can't do it. The blood's on their hands, right? He kind of gave you the analogy in the film with the apple. Here, I'm going to sell you a poison apple. You buy it, it's poison. You eat it and die, the blood's off my hands, right? Do you guys agree the blood will be off my hands because I told you it's poison?
Right.
But when you don't tell them, the blood's on their hands, right? So they always tell us. They all conspiracy theory. Something they literally live and die from because of their Saturn worship. They have to tell us what they're doing. So my point of that with NASA is that there's NASA documents for days, guys, that say we test our aircraft or we're testing our Satelloon or whatever they're testing, whatever they're creating. They write it in all their documents that we test this over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Well, why did they print that? Why would they put a flat, non-rotating Earth? Well, because that's documents. That's government legal documents. People like me would go after them if they lied and put a spherical, rotating bullshit Earth that I can go, wait, let's take these motherfuckers to court. They lied in legal documents. They lied. Let's go. No, they're not. They're lying on TV to you about what you're seeing and what's behind them. And the astronaut just kind of staring in the camera like, oh, no one's doing anything. Go ahead and enjoy the show, guys. It's WWE. But in legal documents, you can't be bullshitting people. That's legal documents. And they also know that 98% of the world are never going to research these documents or read any of them. They're too busy with sports and with their work and their job and their this and their family. And granted, it makes sense, but they also know that. So they get off on the revelation of the method because they don't give a shit. They'll tell you in documents all day. They'll tell you in interviews all day. It's just the way it is, man. And they do this with all topics. And that's the thing. Conspiracy theories for the last 10 years are all been coming true. The problem is the hardest one is the Earth because they have ridiculed it so much that you don't want to feel like you're stupid and your friends are going to make fun of you and your family and you're going to be disowned and you're going to be called a crazy flat earther. They did that to the movement. They're the ones that perpetrated. They made a film on Netflix called Behind the Curve. That's a hit piece. That's a hit piece. I disagree with 99% of that damn movie because it's a hit piece, but they put it out to the public as, look it, we have a new movie with real flat earthers. Let's see what they think. Oh. And they completely edited and chopped it up to make it look like a hit piece because it is a hit piece. And it's a bunch of agents, not real flat earthers, that star in that movie. So in my opinion, it's an obvious hit piece, you know? So they just want people to watch the movie. And thank God it's not available in the country. It's garbage. They want people to watch the movie and go, oh, because I got calls back in 2016, I believe that was 2017. And I remember getting calls. This is my point about saying all this. I'll wrap it up, but
no, it's
I remember getting calls in 2017-ish, whenever that was. People going, hey, we know that you always talk about that the Earth's on a globe and all this stuff. We just watched a movie on this. You're insane. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Hello? I'm like, what do you mean I'm insane? I'm like, what did you watch? You watch some of my YouTube stuff? There's a lot of people on YouTube that do great work. Science, they're doing laser experiments. Well, what did you see? Netflix has a movie called Behind the Curve. I go, what the heck is that? I watch it. I'm done with it. And my head's about to explode. I go, they're going to turn so many people at that point were into, well, let me look into this. Maybe there's something to this. I don't know. And the government lies about everything. NASA's the government. Let's look. They watch this movie and go, oh my God, it's the dumbest conspiracy I ever heard. The Earth isn't flat. Thank you, movie. Oh my God, I'll never look into this ever again in my life. And I'm going to call people that think it's flat and call them idiots and hang up on them and probably disown them because they're retards.
Who produced the movie? Do you know?
No, I don't. No.
Oh,
no.
That would be interesting to follow the money. Hey, the same thing with Inconvenient Truth. Biggest documentary of its day by far. Scared the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, the Enlight Network was there. I couldn't make it, but some of my team was there for the premiere at the screener and with Del, Big Tree, and everybody. And
for what movie? For what movie?
I thought you were talking about the Del Big Tree.
Oh no, not that movie. I was talking about Al Gore's movie, The Inconvenient Truth.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking of the one Del Big Tree released. I forgot the title, but I don't know why I assumed that was it.
Are you a Del Big Tree fan?
I don't know much about Dell, man, but the few times I've seen skits with the vaccines and the stuff he's doing, I'm all about that because I've never been vaccinated my whole life, so I practice what I preach. I mean, I made a film called Fluvid-19 years ago, and right around that time, and I support anyone that supports that movement in terms of not doing it, especially to children. Don't do that to children. And this is why there's autism. This is why there's ADHD. These names that these creative names they come up with for all these diseases, they're not anything that's real. It's just a vaccine injury that's consistent, and they name it something. That's all it is. Literally, that's all it is.
You can watch on Amazon now. Beautifully shot, Climate Trails. Sean is the producer and director of the movie
and editor.
And editor. Absolutely fantastic movie. Earlier, you mentioned a guy named Dave Winnington going on Tucker Carlson. Who's that? I haven't seen that.
Dane Wigington. Wigington. Yeah. He's been doing this almost as long as Chris and Megan. He's just one of the OGs in the geoengineering aspect of it all. And there's most things I do agree with him on, but I don't agree with everything that he says, of course. But it's such a majority that I do support him and have respect for him. But there's just certain things that, in my opinion, I don't agree with on him. But at the same time, that interview with Tucker Carlson went viral. Just like this trailer of Climate Trails has gone viral all over the place, and everybody's seen it on Amazon. I got, who is it? Chris and Megan, a couple days ago, she texted me a screenshot of her. I think it was just like her brother, just someone in her family that was just scrolling through Amazon Prime and saw it on the homepage, Climate Trails. She's like, what? He's like, what the heck? It's on my home feed. And I'm like, well, yeah, everyone's watching it. I mean, this is the topic of the moment. The topics change, but I think, we release it at the perfect time. And I don't look at that as coincidence. I look at that as our creator, God, saying, hey, now's the time. You're going to see what's going to happen, because I pray every day, just help me help the world. That's it. I mean, I'm your soldier. I'm here to do this. So tell me when, tell me what the next one's going to be. What's important, how can I help? I mean, I think we're all helping in our own sense. We're trying to help the world. We're trying to make the world a better place. Not to sound like Michael Jackson, but it's true. I mean, I feel like we're just trying to make the world a better place in a sense where everyone has a role. And just because my role might be a higher stake doesn't mean that anyone's role is worse or better. It's just, if we all continue to do this, then I believe in collective consciousness. And I think that if we all get on the same page and we all get on the same frequency, we could take this world back, specifically this country. We have to take our country back. And it has been hijacked by, I'm just going to say politely, dual citizens.
Oh, I probably have a little bit of a different perspective on that than you.
Sure. We don't have to get into that. I was just trying to.
But I would, by dual citizens, are you talking about people who are citizens here and in Israel?
And in anywhere. It should just be Americans. It should be America first.
Okay.
Not America second.
Because all the Jew hate, sometimes I'm like, yo, dude, I think we should maybe focus on a little bit of this Sharia law Muslim thing that's going on.
Look, I don't care what you are. First of all, I look at people as humans first.
Okay.
Number one, they're human beings. I have Jewish friends. Dave Weiss is one of my good friends. He's Jewish.
Right.
Look, man, it's not about a Jew, not about a Muslim, not about a Christian, not about a Catholic, not about a Mormon. It's about the person running the country. Now, let me extend you an olive branch.
Okay, I want to push back on the Muslim thing for a second. When you're done, go ahead.
Sure. Let me extend you an olive branch. If you turn the TV on, I know this is a funny psych. I used to say this when it was Biden. It made more sense, but it's Trump now. But if you turn the TV on and you got Trump up there at the Oval Office or, in Congress, wherever, or at the UN meeting, whatever. Actually, UN, that'd be weird. So in America, he's in America.
Hanging out Mar-a-Lago, shooting some
sure, but no, but meaning in a political sense where his whole team's behind him, right?
Yeah.
Everyone that works for him is behind him. Everyone around him is behind him. And they're all Korean. Yeah. Every single one of them. Well, let's say 80% of them are Korean. 85% of them are Korean. Yeah. Every single American would have an issue with that. Every single American would be like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is that. And then you go, wait, they weren't even born here? Right. Wait, what is happening? There'd be a riot outside the White House tomorrow, especially if they were like especially specifically, I should have said Afghanistan or something. Oh my God. It would have been get them, right? Just like 2001, get them all, kill them all. No one cared then. But, you know, once you find out they're from Israel, you go, oh, well, I can't talk about that because, you know, we're on YouTube. And well, that's an issue for me, man. It's not about who you are. You're human first. These are demons running the country. Just so happens that they hide behind, I'm a Jew. Well, they're probably, half of them are probably fake Jews. They're not even real. They're just hiding behind that because they know you can't talk about them. But now everyone's talking about them. So it's again, collective consciousness. Look, we're not going to stand for this anymore. I wish, trust me, Savan, I wish that everyone that's running this country and all the politics in America were being lobbied by Costa Rica. I wish, because it'd be easy to talk about. No one would give a shit. Guess what? And guess what? And I mean this respectfully. It already been taken care of. It would have already been taken care of with the people in America and the way we are. All of it would have been. Costa Ricans are nope. We're done with them. Get them out of here. They'll go in there and risk their lives to pull them out of the office. But no.
Let me ask you this. This is a big picture. Maybe I'm going to give you an or, and maybe it's not going to fall into your paradigm, and I apologize. But do you think it's because of the intelligence in Israel, like the Mossad and agencies that we don't even know about, having something over our leaders, or do you think it's the fear of being anti-Semitic, the psyop on both?
I think both in a sense, because yeah, I mean, you know what, these politicians, I see the fear in RFK Jr.'s eyes. I feel bad for him. I feel like a lot of these people are under this blackmail thing, and I think it is some of it is tied to the island, and they got him on camera, and for all I know, they showed up once just to hang out, and then 28-year-olds running naked. They're on camera. That's all you really need in the court of law sometimes, right? They have power.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the court of public opinion, you're fucked.
There you go. Yeah. So again, I now granted, I think, but I also think the other half of that, some of them enjoy this shit. Some of them are pieces of shit. So it's all mixed in. But again, I wish it was a Costa Rican mafia running the country. It's just so happens to be a Jewish one. And with AIPAC involved, it's kind of obvious now, right? And with what's going on in Gaza that we can watch in 4K.
When you say Jewish, do you mean Israeli? Or are you comfortable switching the two? That's another thing I get a little bit, because when I think of Israel,
they do claim to be Jewish. Again, I don't claim that they're Jewish. They claim they're Jewish. When you look up their name, or you look up the owner of BlackRock, the owner of Vanguard, the owner of CNN and Fox, the owner of Disney, the owner of they're all say that they're Jewish. I have nothing to do with that. I wish it was Costa Rican, man. I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and be ashamed to talk about it because of that. And no one should. There's Jews I know that talk about it more than me. So every single American in America should have a problem with this. That's all.
But when you conflate the correlation, when you conflate Israel and Jew, or just like, let's say I tell you this, if I tell you that 51% of all murders are committed by black men in the United States.
I would say higher in Chicago.
Right.
Guess what? Facts aren't racist, Savan.
But when I tell you that, it's not because they're black, but their color of their skin is a correlate. It's not a causation.
I agree.
So, and the reason, and so I just feel like it needs to be careful. So we're not, we're not like. I'll give you another example, and I wish I could articulate it better. I'll give you another example. So I just realized this at 53 years old. Nationalism has been a bad word. If you're a nationalist, and I finally realized why. The reason why being a nationalist is a bad word in all of these other countries is that's what Hitler was. But he had one ethnicity there and one race. For us, it's not a bad thing. We can be nationalists because we have everyone. We're not denoting our nation based on you being German and then wiping out all the other fucking people.
Yeah, but see, that's another thing. I mean, look, if you still believe the history book on even Hitler, I can't help you.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, dude,
Sean, you're doing it. Sean, you just did it.
Look. I'll be the first to it. Look, I'll be the first to admit. I didn't know him. I don't know. I didn't live at that time. All I know is that my education and my government and my media lie about everything. Why wouldn't they lie? Why wouldn't they create a boogeyman for the same reason they're going after Alex Jones about the school shooting? So you don't do it. I think that they had a boogeyman out of him. I'm not saying he was the greatest guy in the world. I don't know him. I don't care. That has nothing to do with tomorrow and the future of humanity. It doesn't. That's the past. People need to move on from it, in my opinion. But if someone's going to put a gun in my head and go, hey, do you think the official story on him's legit? Hell no. Hell no. But I think there's still more to it. I'm never going to default to, oh, he seemed like a great guy. I have no idea, nor do I care. I just know that the more I research into that topic, the more obvious it becomes that what I default to with that man is that he was a nationalist for Germany. All he cared about is Germany. All he cared about were Germans. And he saw other people coming in that were trying to take over, bring their banks in, bring their porn in, bring all this stuff in. What do you think the book burnings were, guys? The book burnings were LGBTQ, transsexual books. He did not want that in Germany. They kept coming in by the thousands to bring that to the country he was running. So and what most people don't know is that Judea declared war on him. He had a bunch of peace offerings back and forth saying, I don't want war. I just came from a war. I was in the war. I don't want war with anyone. I just want Germany to be peaceful and a loving community. Why do you think they were running up to him like he was Michael Jackson when he walked down the street? You think it's because he's insane and he throws people in ovens? No, but that's what the history book says. And that's the easiest excuse to go, well, that had to have happened because it's in the history book. No, history is a lie. But at the same time, I'm not going to be pro anything because I don't know him. I wasn't there. I don't know. Did he take a deal? Was he a Rothschild? All these other rumors come out of this. Right. All I'm saying about him is,
are you in heaven?
I'm loving to see like your rebuttal to this. I love this conversation.
How about, did you ever see that I saw a report recently, I don't know where, probably on social media, where they tested all the gas chambers? Did you see that one? And the only one that had the residue of the poison that they claimed they were killing the Jews with was in this one that they were using to spray down the clothes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's still a lie. I mean, there's tons of things on this with people that survived that whole era and said that those were showers. Like what? Those were showers. Not only that, but they had like sports teams. They gave, and not only that, but Adolf gave them where they go to Madagascar. He said, hey guys, I just want Germans to be German. Look at Japan. Look at Korea. How diverse are they? You go there, it's 99% Koreans.
Yeah.
That's all Hitler was trying to do, is like, I just want Germans here, man. Like, he don't want nobody here. It just so happens that the biggest flock, that if the biggest flock coming in was Muslims or something, he would have had the same issue. Get out of here. I'm just trying to, it was just that Jewish people were trying to come in, and not only Jewish people, but Jewish power, the banks, the porn, all this stuff was trying to come in to go, yeah, we're going to just set up here anyways. Good luck. And he's like, look, man, I'm going to take all you guys to Madagascar. I'll transfer your funds to the banks over there. I don't want war. Just get out of here. It's only so long before they declared war on him. And that's the biggest hang up for me with all this in terms of factual stuff, is that most people would never guess that Judea declared war on him. They declared war on Germany first.
What is Judea? When you say Judea, what does that mean?
Well, basically, I would assume Israel at that time, but that's just a fake name of a place that they named in the 50s. So that came later. But whatever Israel is now is what that was then. But basically, the Jewish mafia said, we're going to come after you, man. If you don't allow our banks in, if you don't allow our theater in. And he was against all of it. And you're not supposed to be against it. They were the powerful ones back then. They're still the powerful ones now. Does that mean that Jews are bad? No, that doesn't mean Jews are bad. Guess what? That means those Jews are bad. And they were bad then, and they're being bad now. So whether they're from Israel or they're from Scotland, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's one of these things. Oh yeah, it's a part of a modern day Israel. So yeah, technically I was right, but it's one of these things where if people can look outside of their own 5th grade history book about the same bullshit over and over again, we all got taught the same thing. Okay, why isn't there's so many other people that in history that killed way more people than even Hitler is proclaimed to kill? No one is. What about the Bolshevik Revolution? It was like 30 times more deaths. Almost all the Christians died. Not even mentioned in school. Shh. Well, the school, those are Rockefeller books. That's the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and these big families. They have a lot of power. Do you know who prints our children's school books? Does anyone know who prints them?
No.
Ghislaine Maxwell's father.
Yeah.
He's in charge of printing the school books their family's done it for many years. So you got Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and Ghislaine Maxwell's family tree. Yeah, but you want to believe the story in the book about a guy that said, "Get out of my country." You think that he's putting people in ovens and stuff. That's what I mean. Like none of it makes sense.
I forgot about the Ghislaine Maxwell thing and her father.
None of it makes sense to me, man. And I don't have to believe anything I don't need to believe. That's all.
Right. Climate trail. I want to talk about Muslims in a second. They need to ask pounding too. We can't just pound the juice. Climate trails, Hibbeler trailer. This is funny. Have you thought about entering your film in the Climate Film Festival? That would be amazing, dude.
Hey, if you want to, I don't mind if you want to show your audience the trailer. Just go.
I want to pee, so I want to show the trailer.
Yeah, Google's gonna block me, man. You're not gonna find it right away. Go to just go to YouTube and type in Hibbeler Productions, or just type in my last name and then it'll come up.
Okay. Caleb will do that, and then we'll get a.
Technically you can watch it on there. I have a newer one that's viral right now, but you could still play the original one. The original one.
No, let's play the new one on YouTube. Okay. Quick little.
But yeah. I don't want to be looked at as someone that hates Jews. I just don't like the Jewish mafia. I don't like the Italian mafia. I don't like the Muslim mafia. Anyone that's trying to harm Americans, I don't like, and no one should like. But at the same time, if it was the Muslims that were controlling Congress and the White House, I'd have a huge issue with that, and so would you guys. We should all have an issue with these dual citizens from Israel and their AIPAC money. It makes no sense why anyone would support that. I'm sorry.
All right. Will you pull us down for a minute, Caleb, and run the trailer? We'll take a quick little pee break. Thank you.
When the threats started coming, I realized I needed to leave. And again, I had no plan. I had no job. I was very scared. And I came out in a time that I knew, regardless of what happened to me, I was going to be on the right side of history.
You can no longer call something a conspiracy theory when Harvard, Bill Gates, and the CIA director are all calling for these programs to start.
We have barium and strontium and aluminum and nanoparticles. I think some of these technically incompetent politicians don't understand what a nanoparticle is.
Don't you want to breathe clean air?
What I do see is massive evidence that we are exposed to an immense chemical soup of man-made poisons.
It's going into our water supply, it's going into our nose, it's going into our mouth, it's settling on our skin.
If you just take the time to look up, it becomes undeniable.
We, the people, have not consented to being test subjects.
Your own government's doing it.
They're spraying us like bugs, like cockroaches.
That doesn't raise any flags? That doesn't make you think? Scratch your head? What's going on?
Poof! There's all the aluminum over this concentrated area.
You have everyone looking up at the sky. I mean, it's literally over our heads.
Great audio too. Great audio.
That was actually the old one. It's all right.
Oh. Hey, we'll finish the show with the new one. Hey, good question here, totally off topic. Is it how do you find a girlfriend? Like there must be so few, like how do you you are so broad in your capacity to where you can go in your thought and your brain that I'm guessing it probably scares a lot of people. Like I was just imagining bringing you home to fucking Thanksgiving. Oh, you're married.
Yes.
Oh, you got a girl. Okay.
My wife was the biggest fan of mine many, many years ago.
Okay. So she was attracted to this because a lot of people are afraid to go to these places, even in their brain. Like they can't even go there. They'll have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. But the power of waking someone up. And then when they meet you, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
okay.
I lucked out with this one. So
yeah. Well, congratulations. I was just imagining when I was taking a piss, looking at the stars, like, God, can you imagine bringing Sean home to Thanksgiving dinner? And he's like, I don't know about this Holocaust thing.
No.
What the
That's the
fuck?
thing, man. I have a lot of respect in public settings. I'm not one to be like that. Like if someone could have me over, I'm not gonna talk like this. If they ask, I'm gonna tell. But and the number one thing I'm asked about is NASA and the Earth and all that stuff. And of course, I love to talk about that, and I love to talk to normal people about that on a normal level where I can have a decent conversation with them, and I know how to explain things where it doesn't sound crazy. But again, with the World War II stuff and all this other stuff with the dual citizenship, I just look at the facts, man. It's as simple as that. I don't really look at feelings, but I do get how it can sound at times, and like
you're shaking.
But I was
you're shaking people's reality.
But I was default to like my like I always pick on Dave Weiss, one of my Jewish closest friends. He's on my, I mean, he is in my boat with this. He doesn't want this happening to America, and he also understands the lies of the past, and it kind of makes sense why they would lie and create a boogeyman so there's no copycats, no more nationalism, just eradicate it completely, so it can be the biggest diversity melting pot world that we have, especially on the West. Now, especially with all the Muslims coming into the UK, that's not an accident. They're bringing them there on purpose. And when you kind of look at who's behind even that, just saying.
Who's behind that? Them too?
You just got to research, man. That's all.
Because that one really freaks me out. Because here's my quick simplification of it. If you're Muslim, that means you follow the religion of Islam, and then that means that you follow the Quran. And they don't believe in our Constitution. They want Sharia law. That's the whole premise behind their religion, and their law is one and the same. They don't have a distinction. And we have this country here that wants to allow maximum tolerance, and therefore we get the most intolerant people coming to our country.
Yeah, and half of them fuck their cousins and their IQs at 70, and it's just the way I'm
generous.
Yeah, I get it. But at the same time,
so
hold on,
the Jews are bringing them in too. Israel's bringing them in.
Just like Jewish.
Come on, I'm ready for it. Okay.
Just like Jewish people, same with Muslims. A lot of them are great people, man. So we can't.
Then they're not Muslims. Then they're not Muslims. How?
Yeah, dude. They're. What do you mean? They're. Oh, excuse me, but if you want to compare, hold on. If you want to compare, are you Christian?
I don't know what I am.
He's enlightened.
Okay. Are you Christian?
No.
Okay.
I'm enlightened.
Okay. Let's just say someone in your audience is Christian, right?
Okay.
Listeners.
Yeah, tons of Christian listeners.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is fine. All these religions are out there, guys.
Right.
But my point is that the Muslims, they don't rip on Jesus, the Savior. They call him a prophet. They give respect to it. They don't shit on it. In the Talmud, it says that Jesus is burning in semen, in hell, and Virgin Mary was a whore. So there's Muslims, as much as they're different than Christians and different than Jews, they don't disrespect Christians. Christians try not to disrespect them in a sense because
I don't think. Let me try to explain it one more time. So Muslims want Sharia law. They don't just want. Well, then they're not Muslim.
You're grouping right now, which I don't do to Jews, so you shouldn't do that to them. Not all of them. Not all of them are like that, man. Not all of them are like that.
Well, are we talking about Jews like as in ethnic Jews, or
no? Look, man, when I talked about Jews earlier, remember I called it the Jewish mafia running our country. Yeah. There's an Islamic mafia too. I hate them as well. I hate them equally. But at the same time, it's unless I see them running our country. If I see a bunch of Muslims running our country and bringing in LGBTQ and owning Disney and all this stuff, then I'll have more of a hatred for that. But at the same time, I'm just more focused on the country and how it's going to shit. And the Jewish mafia is the one that's in charge of that, boss. There's nothing I can do about that. I wish it was Muslims for everybody's sake, so then we can all have the conversation and not get banned. But I don't make the rules in terms of who's doing it. I just want it to stop. That's all.
What about these rape gangs in the UK? You think that that's real?
I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's real.
Okay.
UK's got a lot of issues right now with the Muslim mafia and these types of people coming in, these low IQ people. Yeah.
And then what's happening in Minnesota with the Muslims there? Do you think that that's real?
I would assume. Yeah. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I would assume. Why wouldn't it be real?
Yeah, I think it's all real too. The stuff that I'm seeing But I don't understand why you don't see that as a bigger threat than
I don't see Muslims passing legislation. I don't see Muslims owning companies that I'm against. I don't see Muslims on top of the pyramid of owning basically every organization that America has. And if they don't, they're going to come soon. And if they don't own the company like BlackRock, they'll just burn down an entire city from wildfires and then go in and buy the land. So they can.
So it's not the owning of them that bothers you. It's what they're doing with the power and the ownership.
Yeah, it's what they've been doing for a while. And that's also in charge of the media, in charge of Hollywood, covering up pedophilia. I mean, that's bringing in porn, making it normalized. That's not Muslims, bro. That's all.
Okay.
And again, I don't have a problem with Jews, just like I don't have a problem with Muslims. I have a problem with the people that are doing this to us. It just so happens that most of those people, they say they're Jewish. I'm not calling them Jews. Right. They say they're Jews. Right. So I really have a problem with the person first, because I give respect to all human beings until you do something that's evil, until you do something that's bad. Now I don't like you. It just so happens that it defaults to a lot of people I don't like. A lot of companies and organizations I don't like are owned and ran by Jews because they said they're Jews. I'm not being racist. That's like saying Chicago, the South Side Chicago is mainly black gang violence. Oh, you racist? Well, no, facts aren't racist. So these facts on these organizations ruining our country ran by Jews, that's a fact. I don't give a shit. Again, if they're Costa Rican, I will say, fuck that Costa Rican guy. But I guess does that mean fuck all Costa Rica? No.
I guess, Sean, what I'm saying is if I go to the million-foot view, I would rather live in a country with NPCs, with clean running water and electricity, where women aren't being raped and people aren't marrying their cousins, and we're over the loudspeakers. We're not doing the prayer 5 times a day. And I see that shit coming to this country.
Yeah, but what are most women into nowadays in modern day society? It's called OnlyFans. That's a Jewish ran company.
Out of the UK?
They're just more, listen, the Jewish mafia is just more creative about how they ruin our country. They do it from the inside out and they blow it up into a big aspect. So yes, I agree with you. I don't want a surreal law being ran in this country whatsoever, but I also don't want the youth of our women to just default to OnlyFans and not get a career or not get a job, or most importantly, even more than a fucking career, be a mom.
Son of a bitch.
Is it a divide?
This fucking guy, Sean. You can't take Sean anywhere. Yes, Leonid Radvinsky, owner of OnlyFans, is a Jew.
Oh, you think I'm gonna lie to you live? That's I would never lie live. I would never lie, but at the same time, I have opinions that have turned out false once in a while, and I'll be the first to admit, oh man, my bad, I made a mistake on that. But if I'm gonna say it with I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Hey, is it a new division tactic? Like what Savon's talking about with it's the biggest threat. And the reason why we feel it's the biggest threat is because some of this stuff might be coming to our doorstep. And this is kind of what happened with COVID and the vaccines. And then we've seen some of the other stuff like the transgender movement, all of a sudden it comes to your doorstep and then people really push back. Now, I think as things were being exposed, who's really in power and who our tax dollars are really going to and what agendas are being funded, that it got too close to home and we needed something else to come to the doorstep to potentially divide the people in a different direction. The race baiting stuff has started to way slow down. It's not how it was 5 years ago. And that was the biggest thing of division, right? That was what was separating a ton of people in the country. As that got closer, is this something that's being ushered in again as for sake of division?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can look at it as that, but I also look at it, I default to distraction again. It's a distraction to keep you away from what they're doing behind the scenes. It's the behind the scenes players that actually have more power, in my opinion, because they're running the show, they're running the theater, they're running the news, they're running the movies, they're brainwashing everybody into a society that we don't want in America. And for me, someone like Ben Shapiro, if you don't want people, I don't know if you guys heard him last week, but he's talking about if you're American, probably Christian was what he means, but if you're American, white people basically, if you live in a city that your entire family grew up in and you're all these generations of family, you live in that, they all lived in the same city. He says, if you can't afford it anymore because of what's coming in and all the prices are going up, then get the fuck out of there. Who cares about your homeland? It's like, dude, you get the fuck out of this country. Go back to where they really, they love you over there, man. And there's these Israeli traders that are trying to represent America, and they're not winning. It's not going to work. And the jig is up with that. People understand that there's a difference. There is a difference between a Jew and a Zionist, of course. And there's a difference between a bad Jew and a normal Jew. There's a difference. There's a difference between a bad Muslim and a good Muslim. Like Sneako's a Muslim. I don't know if you guys know who Sneako is. I think he's a great guy. He's got a great heart, and he talks about truth. He doesn't want Sharia law. He doesn't want to mistreat women. At the same time, he also doesn't want the Jewish lobby bringing in this new OnlyFans thing and making all of our American girls default to it once they hate their job at Finish Line. It makes no sense. They're all like, it is the most, like, if you look at it, man, the youth for females right now, that's like defaulted. And they've made it that way, though. That's the thing. They bring this in. They normalize Pornhub, who's also owned by a Jew. You got all these other people coming in to ruin our country. It just so happens that most of them are Jewish mafia. Some of them could be Muslim. Some of them could be Christian. I don't care. All of them need to go. It just so happens that by default, they're mostly Jews. That has nothing to do with race or being a racist to me. That's just a fact. And the reason that, in my opinion, I'm not going to say the Holocaust didn't happen, but the reason they have completely exaggerated it in the favor of the Jew, in the feel bad for the Jew, it's for this day, for modern day. In the last 15 years, you can't talk about it. You'll get banned. You'll get censored. You can, right now, all three of us can rip on blacks. We can rip on Muslims. We can, especially, they'll promote you, rip on white people. Go ahead. No big deal. They'll promote it. They don't give a shit. You say Jew, they're like, hey man, let's lower their views now. If that doesn't make you think about who's running the show, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Jews own YouTube, Jews own Google, Facebook. I mean, Zuckerberg. I mean, these are these people that, I mean, most NFL, NBA owners, they're Jewish. So again, with bread and circuses, they have the bread and circuses. They have the media. They have the political aspect. AIPAC is the only one that doesn't have to register as a foreign agent. Why? So they can control the show, so they can do whatever they want in this country, and then they can open the floodgates and go bring the Muslims in now. What a distraction. Not knowing who's bringing them in.
That answers your question, right, Sousa?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about the World Economic Forum?
Oh, I think that they're a big puppet group, a big puppet organization who I think they do have power. But I think that they're kind of brought out there for the respect of humanity, where like the way Bill Gates used to be respected, they kind of still have that, maybe not as much since 2020, but they're just a group that wants to control different decisions and all this stuff. But when you look at who's running the show, it always leads back to the same. So, even Klaus Schwab, I mean, own nothing and be happy and all this stuff that they're doing. And again, I think it's a swing and miss, man. I think these types of organizations have lost the interest of the American people. The exposure's been out there on these people, especially Bill Gates and Schwab and even the CDC. So they're failing. They're failing miserably in trying to control. I heard out of Bill Gates' mouth himself that they didn't get as many vaccinated arms as they wanted to. That basically they lost. They failed. Like
it didn't work. Did you see that? He gave up on climate change.
Yes, he did. Well, because Climate Trails is out, he has to give up on climate change.
And obviously, I think we would agree the World Health Organization and the UN and the European Union are all captured organizations.
Yeah, I would agree. Sure. I think that they're all, but for me, like the United Nations itself, I just think that these are the world leaders that are all in on it together. They're all in on this together to be against humanity, to play God. They want to control the weather. They want to control our water. They want to control our food. They want to control our news, our media. They want to control
the guise of helping us.
They want to control every child. They want to brainwash them into liking Disney. Why do they do these little things people don't notice? Where Miley Cyrus comes out. Oh, this was years ago, of course, when it was popular. When we were probably like in our 20s, I would assume. And Miley Cyrus, and she's such a good girl, and what a good TV show. And all these little girls are like, yeah, Miley Cyrus is my hero. And then 4 years later, she's a slut, opening her legs on MTV. I mean, because they want your daughters to follow her and then become that. And That's the thing. I'll give, at least with the Muslim Mafia, they do it out in the open where you see it and go, fucking stop it right now, Jesus. The Jewish Mafia is very, they're behind this, they're strategized. They're behind the scenes. They're like, you know, what can we do to impact everybody, especially the children? What can we do and how can we do it? They'll spend 10 years before executing a plan, but when they execute, man, does it work? And that's the thing is our country is no longer what it used to be. Our country is one big melting pot, and I don't mind diversity. I have black friends, I have Jewish friends, I have Muslim friends, I have Christian friends, I have everybody. That's fine. I don't mind that. But this country used to be mainly white, right? Can we all agree on that? It used to be white people here. And once you look into who brought the black people over, then you'll understand that
Well, it's Chinese first, and then they renamed them Native Americans.
Yeah, well, you got to dig a little deeper, man.
You don't think the Chinese were the first ones here?
No. I meant who brought the black people
slaves
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump's a disruptor, Sean?
In what sense?
In the sense that, like, you know, he goes over to the World Economic Forum and talks shit to them and says, like, we're America first. You know,
I
on
think
the big.
well, we all know that he's Israel first. He's shown it over and over again now. I mean, he works for Netanyahu. That's his boss. Now, whether or not Trump's blackmailed, I don't know. If he is, I feel bad for him. But at the same time, you better have a backup plan, man, because this is going downhill right now. This is all going to shit. So,
What do you mean? I thought you a second ago you sounded optimistic, like the CDC's failing and Bill Gates is failing, and now you're saying it's going to shit. What do you mean?
I'm talking about his presidency is going to shit. It's all. Everyone notices what's going on. Everybody sees him pull the chair up for Netanyahu. Netanyahu is a war criminal. Getting a standing ovation from Trump's whole posse at every meeting. They treat him like, you know, he's the king of the country. I've heard stories that he literally, when he gets off the private jet, Netanyahu throws his bag of laundry to someone and just keeps walking, you know, like they're here to serve him. And I want to know why anyone today, I get a couple years ago, but today, if you think Israel's an ally of ours, I'd like to hear that. How? Why? What are they? On top of that, what do they do for us? How are they helping us? Because the taxpayers are losing money. I mean, I think $80 million a day from NASA. That's a company I've been trying to dissolve for a long time. They're not for you. They don't like you. They don't love you. They lie to you every day. They're taking all your money in the process to do nothing. Same thing with Israel. We're sending them all this tax money, billions and billions of dollars that can help our country, that can help our homeless, that can help our communities. We're giving it to them. And then you drive around somewhere like Philadelphia and you go, what is going on in this country? This is disgusting. Look at Atlanta. Look at Chicago. It's disturbing. But Israel, I mean, you look at Israel, it's the most beautiful place because they have all of our money, and they're taking our money and they're taking the bombs that we give them and they're killing innocent children. You don't have to like Muslims. You don't have to like Palestinians. You should like innocent children and women, though. And actually, innocent men. No one ever fucking says that, and I'm sick of it. There's innocent human beings that have done nothing wrong to anyone, and they don't plan on it either. And they're getting their heads bombed, and they're getting shot in the head. Their 5-year-olds getting shot in the head, and the IDF soldier laughs at that, and we're paying for it. So I have a problem with that, man. And that's why.
How much money we've given? $4 billion to Israel a year. About $4 billion. Is that the number?
I would say it's way more than that.
You would,
way more. What do they publicly say? I don't know. I'm assuming 4 to 10 billion, but I know it's way more. And you know, I don't pay taxes for that reason. I don't support that. Sorry, you're not going to make me. If I support something, I'll pay for it.
What do you mean you don't pay? How do you not pay taxes?
Why would I have to pay taxes? If I make a film and people rent it and that money goes in my pocket, that money's already taxed, number one. Number two, I pay taxes when I swipe my debit card when I make a purchase in this country. That's taxes. I'm not letting them take my money that I earned by working my ass off all year and sharing it to go kill children. I'm not doing that. Why do you think I have to do that? There's no law that says you have to pay labor taxes. There's absolutely zero law. There are IRS agents that have been fired for whistleblowing about this for many, many years, and they will continue to be more whistleblowers coming out. There is no law that says you have to give the federal government that big chunk that comes off of most Americans' paycheck does not have to go to them. This is why, and this always stood out to me in high school, man. I took a class on taxes, right? It was for extra credit. And because I needed it, man. I was, I hated school, but I'm like, wow, I still want to graduate. So I'll take some extra classes. But the tax class I took, I remember specifically, and even then I was drawn in by it. I go, there's something up here, because we skipped line 7. We went over every single section of the tax form, besides a paragraph on the back and line 7 on the front. And I remember that day, I go, why are we skipping line 7? Don't worry about line 7. So let's go here. And she completely disregarded it. And at that time, I wasn't wise enough to do research and stuff. But later on in my life, I go, I'll always remember that day. What is line 7? Line 7 is the ability to opt out. That's called exempt. You write exempt on that line. So anyone working a mall job right now, or at the grocery store, or just an office job listening, the next time you do tax, or if you get a brand new job, they hand you that form. Go to line 7, write exempt. They'll be confused. They'll act like, because this has happened to me many times back in my 9-to-5s. I've been doing this for a long time, where they come to me right away. HR's like, we think you made a mistake here. I can like quote every job I've had. They do the same thing. We think you made a mistake here. You're supposed to not write that there. I was like, no, it's in the law book. I'm like, it's my right to write exempt. I'm not giving any money to the federal government. I don't have to.
H&R Block, also owned by Jews. Poor Sevon, he's in over his head.
Well, yeah, where do you think usury came from, man? And again, I'm not saying Hitler's the greatest guy of all time, but he was completely against usury. He wanted all 0% interest loans for Germans, all 0%. It's the Jewish mafia that came in and said, no, usury, all day usury. And you know what? One more thing. I'm not going to keep on this topic,
Please.
but
no, it's fine.
Hitler, for Germans, at the time, he had a deal that if every child you had, 25% of your mortgage was paid off. So if you had 4 children, you didn't have a mortgage.
I think some other country, Hungary.
Yeah, there's others.
I think Hungary and Bulgaria are doing that now.
They're doing similar things, but can you imagine if we had that today? I think everybody would go buy a house, but we're under a demise.
We should have that, something like that in the United States. People should be rewarded.
No, but listen, yeah, with the way this country's being ran right now, and has been for a long time, that'll never happen here, because they don't want you to have children.
Well, they should do that. They should do that instead of giving you Social Security based on the number of children you have.
Yeah, but this is why they brought in feminism, so women can work and not have a family. There's so many reasons. There's so many things. That's why abortions, all this stuff's in porn, so men cheat and the family's broken up. It's about breaking up the family and not populating. And to be honest with you, there's the biggest wars on white people now than ever, but no one wants to talk about that.
I agree.
Because as soon as you go outside and go white power, white rights, white people, you're a Nazi, right? So, and this is what they've done. They've made it so we can't do that.
Well, you can't even say that. And that's what I was talking about earlier, where we can't say we're nationalists or America first, because it's tied to that narrative that stigma. That's
why do you think they created the boogeyman about it? So it comes back to today, and now we're Hitler, right? If we do that, we're Hitler. We're Nazis. If white people are proud, that's bullshit. And that's a straw man argument, and it doesn't make any sense, and it will not stop people from sticking up for themselves. I think there's nothing wrong with black people going outside, for black rights. Anyone going out there to do what they want to do. Mexicans have their day, everybody, right? Everybody, and no one cares. There's diverse groups out there celebrating with them the pride of their culture. White people, no, you're a Nazi if you do that. And that's bullshit. And that's the point. There's a war on white people, and it's under the radar because of this fake white privilege. When you actually look into prestige universities where it looks like it's white majority, well, look at the white privilege. Look at all these prestige colleges. It's mainly white people. No, because there's no Jewish box. The Jews will write, and a lot of them are Jewish that go to these schools. They will write. They'll check the white box. It's a war on white people, in my opinion, because there's always been a war. And when I say white people, technically I'm talking about Christians in a sense, but overall white people. I mean, there's been a war on us probably since World War II. It's been the demise of white people and the destruction of white countries to bring in every single race and make it so we are going to be the minorities in 10 years. And we're almost headed there. But no one's going to bat an eye, because fuck whitey. That's the motive on every racist mind since they have perpetrated this lie. And it's going to continue unless people stand up. And the people that are standing up for their own race of being white, why can anyone be against that? And it's so hypocritical when every other race can do it, but white people, why? it always goes back to the big bad wolf Adolf, and it always will. And that's why the truth about him needs to come out even more, because again, the truth isn't that he was the greatest guy. He was a great hearted man and he didn't do anything wrong. I don't think anyone's saying that. What we're saying is that what he was doing was right for the time, for his country. He was a good leader for Germany, and he put Germans first, just like you see Japan.
And the Muslims are doing it now, and no one's saying shit.
No one's saying shit.
If you do, you're called an Islamophobe.
Yes, and if you do it the other way, it's anti-Semitic. These little quick terms that people want to throw at people. They're getting old. They're not working anymore. You can criticize any bad behavior, any evil entity, without being called a racist. Good luck. That's all they're going to do. Because they're going to hope that works. All they got to do is put a press. Some right-wing watch, one of these companies, put a press release on me years ago and call me an anti-Semite and call me a neo-Nazi. Why? Because I had a guy named Eric Dubay come on my show. This was years ago. And this is where I learned about this World War II stuff. I didn't know about any of this stuff. He told us the German side of the story, and he told us what's really going on and how they covered it up and why they made it completely opposite for the public. And there's no copycats now, no more nationalism. It'll never be copied again. And they're protected with this Holocaust. So he just explained it. None of it was racist. I actually, on purpose, I said it to my Jewish friends. I'm like, hey, do you guys think this was racist? They're like, absolutely not. Holy shit. Let me look this up. Is this real? And yeah, it's real. I can't believe this. There's a Hibbeler agreement no one talks about in World War II that Hitler's like, I don't want war. I just want peace. And no one knows that. And now even Rogan had it where they're playing his speech in English. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like most people that are pissed off with this country and the situation it is and how they talk. That's exactly how he was speaking about Germany at the time. And he wasn't saying throw Jews in ovens. We hate them. Kill them all. He wasn't saying that. But yet we're taught in school he was saying that. He wasn't saying that at all. He just didn't want people coming in to disrupt his country and bring in all this nonsense. He's like, I don't want it. Not under my watch. Maybe the next guy. Not under my watch. And they're like, it's going to be under your watch. It's now, because we're going to come heavy and drop bombs on your ass. So you guys better be ready. You better get an army together. You better get people together. We're going to come fuck you up. And many threats later, he built the Nazi army. I mean, or whatever you want to call it. And to me, they also got a bad rap as well. I think that they were just defending their homeland from people that wanted to destroy it. That sounds pretty normal to me. But yet the Nazis, the worst thing you can call someone, it's like, really? I mean, what I mean, and that's the thing. When people go back in time and look at the Bolshevik Revolution, World War II looks like fucking, Sesame Street compared to that.
Look at this comment. I bet this guy loves Trump. Maybe, did you just start listening? You need to go back.
Yeah, that's, well, and that could be a bot. That could be a bot as well. No, I don't love Trump. I did fall for the act in a sense, a little. I fell for the act in 2016. Here's this guy. I'm thinking in my head, man, this could be another JFK. He's not a politic guy. He's not a senator. He's just comes out of nowhere and it sounds like he wants to help our country. Why wouldn't I have liked him at first? Of course. I knew Hillary Clinton was a fucking vampire demon. I don't want her running the country. She's an evil piece of shit. She probably drinks kids' blood every day. I don't want her running my country. She's her entire families are pieces of shit. I don't want them running. So yeah, I fell for Trump in the beginning stages, but all the empty promises led me to believe that maybe if we give him a second chance, maybe he'll have more power now. Maybe he'll do something. Obviously, the election was stolen against Biden, so that made it seem like there was something going on. Maybe Trump's real. Maybe like they're trying to stop him. And the news lies all the time. Why are they ripping into one of their own if he was one of theirs? But now it's just everything's changed for me. I can't, unless he's playing, I don't know what we're up to, 20D chess, and he's being blackmailed and he's trying to really behind the scenes like act where he's acting like he's all about this and supporting this. But behind the scenes, he's like, all right, here's the plan, white hats, we're going to take over. I don't know. They used to call that QAnon. Look, for me, I hope that's real. Sure. But the only thing I see that's real is it's what he's doing right now with Israel and Netanyahu and not giving a shit. I mean, I just saw him a couple of days ago. They asked him, some lady asked him something about something and he goes, where are you from? And she goes, I'm from Palestine. He goes, oh yeah, we're doing great. Palestine's great right now. We have a great relationship with Palestine. What are you talking about? You have a great relationship with Palestine. They fucking hate your guts. They know what you're doing. They know who you serve. You're not helping anyone over there. What they want to do is they want to destroy all that land like Maui, but times 10. And they want to put, new malls up and beautiful shiny buildings, and he's in real estate. It kind of makes sense when you think about it.
So there's been all this fighting going over there for 100 years. Why is that a bad idea?
What's a bad idea?
For 50 years. Why is that a bad idea to move all those people out of there? Like, why doesn't Egypt open the border, let everyone flood out of there, and turn that thing into a giant fucking strip mall?
What state are you in?
California.
Okay, so why doesn't how would you feel if the Muslims came to California and booted your ass out of your homeland?
I wouldn't like it at all.
Okay, so yeah, the Palestinians don't deserve to be booted out of their homeland. The Jews need to get the fuck out of there and mind their business. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that they deserve to get booted out of there. I'm saying that there's been it's been a miserable existence there for 50. So I'm Armenian, and my family.
No, because they're under the control of the other side of the border, man. They're in poverty.
Why won't the other 54 Muslim nations take any of them in?
But because they're probably, again, go back to United Nations. All the leaders are in on this together. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the people. So you just got to follow the money, man, and follow who you can't criticize. And they don't want to criticize them either. I mean, they need America and American bombs and American soldiers to take on their wars. Without America, they'd have no chance. So America needs to pull out of this shit quickly, because we're going to piss a lot of people off, and a lot of them are innocent, man. Whether you like them or not over there in the Middle East, a lot of them are they're just innocent people doing nothing wrong.
Why don't you blame Egypt for not opening the border and letting all the people run out to safety?
I blame Egypt more for not helping. Not that type of help, but help against the IDF and help against the genocide going on. I blame everybody for not helping, including our country. No one's helping them. We're literally witnessing a genocide in 4K, and you guys want to talk, not you guys, and people want to talk about one from World War II. Get the fuck out of here with your World War II bullshit. This shit's going on right now in 4K, and us as human beings can put a stop to it, and no one's doing shit. So that it doesn't add up to me. It just doesn't add up. The heart of humans are gone, man. They don't really care. And now, if you only care, that means you're a nationalist, which is fine, I guess. If you only care about America and Americans, you don't care about any of that, then let's keep our country Americans.
Yeah.
You should have a problem with dual citizens. Doesn't matter where they're from. Just so happens they're from Israel. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. Go back there. I want Americans, and if I had to pick, it'd be specifically white Christians running our country, running our states. That's the way it's always been. It is shifted completely. And it's been normalized.
How about women? Would women be allowed to run too?
I think women need to be more focused on families and populating. I don't even think that they should have careers, in my opinion. That's just me, though. I mean, I think that was even brought here with the feminism movement to make sure that there's the ability to only have one child, maybe, and that's down the road. You know, now women are having, their kids in their 30s, and if they're lucky, maybe they'll have one, maybe two on average. It used to be 5, 6. And the population is declining, not just from vaccines and chemtrails. It's from feminism, all the above. I think that they make it so hard to live in this country and pay your bills that it's obvious you need a two person.
What state are you in? What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay. Are you born and raised there?
No, I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Oh wow, Chicago. What's next for you, Sean? Any other movies in the works?
Well, right now, again, we're just started the new show, World War Debate. It's been greenlit. Sam Tripoli is producing, and on the panel with Andrew Wilson, Ben Swan's going to be moderating. And we just reached out to Candace Owens, and Steven Crowder said yes. We wanted Candace Owens for Steve Crowder for the first event. We're going to have 3 debates in the first event. Well, Candace wrote back, no thanks. I think that she doesn't want to debate Crowder, or she didn't want the amount of money we offered her. We will be offering her more to come. But it just seems like right now she doesn't want to debate Crowder. So I think Crowder's going to go and possibly do another show of ours, or debate someone else. But I can't name drop right now, but we're reaching out to the biggest and the baddest debaters, and we want to bring debate and entertainment together. Kind of like I've done my whole career. I bring the truth and entertainment together. That's what my documentaries are, in my opinion. They're entertaining, truth-filled, mind-blowing bombs that I blow off, right, in these films. We want to do the same with debates. We want to take debates, especially important topics, like, well, just talking about feminism. We got someone up there that's representing anti-feminism and one that's a feminist, letting the world see both sides fairly and professionally and entertaining. Well, then people that are pro-feminism will learn something during that event and go, yeah, maybe I was wrong there, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was started by this, that, and the other, right? So I think debates are a form of truth. And so Word War Debate, that's January 10th, live in Atlantic City. Details are coming soon. You can go to wordwardebate.com and check it out. You know, we're going to be releasing debate cards shortly. Candace could, you know, possibly come back and say, yeah, maybe she'll change her mind. But if you go to wordwardebate.com, you'll see more information. And well, you could buy tickets on the Enlighten Network's website or wordwardebate.com. Tickets are available now, even though we don't have debate. You know, it's crazy. We've sold tickets, and this blows my mind, guys. We've already sold a lot of tickets to this event. We haven't even announced who's debating. You know, awesome. And look, and I'm not talking shit. Thank you for all the support, everybody. And I think it's because they trust the Enlighten Network. They trust Sam Tripoli. They could even trust Andrew Wilson at that sense and go, this is going to be a great show, right? But at the same time, it's like buying concert tickets and you don't know who's performing yet. That's kind of strange, but that's the love and support that my team has, and Sam Tripoli and everybody else is like, people know, like, we're not going to be putting this big show together. We're going to be doing this bi-monthly. So every other month, there's going to be a new set of debates live in Atlantic City. And it's right next to Caesar's Palace. It's ACX1 Studios. It's a beautiful, beautiful 4-floor Coliseum. Even the VIP section is just the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. You're surrounded by glass walls, surrounded by the ocean. It's just a beautiful event. Like, we want to bring, again, entertainment with debates, because debates are so hot right now. But man, sometimes I'll watch it and I'm like, man, it's fucking boring. Get to the point. Or specifically, he didn't answer the question. Why didn't he answer the question? It blows my mind. It makes my brain hurt. So we're going to do things a little differently at this show. You better answer the question. The spotlight's on you and you're live and the moderator knows what this show's about. Answer the question and complete silence.
Chances we'll see Fuentes there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll invite him eventually, man. You know, I have respect for him as a debater. He and it's one of those things where love him or hate him, you know, tell him where he's wrong and he'll make the change. But the problem is not many people call him a liar.
Except
so
for when
you can hate him,
except for when he said he's straight. Sean, I really appreciate you coming on. You are a force of nature.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for making the movie Climate Trails. Don't change anything about yourself. I can't wait to have you on again. Follow the debate wars. I know you're going to be up to a lot of good stuff. The takeover has begun. The Enlighten Network.
Yes. Again, it's a long haul, long road ahead.
You're young. You don't have any grades.
Yeah, well, I know, but to try to, you know, again, look at Hollywood. Look at all ratings, Netflix, HBO, everything. It's failing. It's sinking. People are leaving. They're not paying attention like they used to. When's the last time you guys got excited for a movie theater release?
Never.
Yeah,
it's been 20 years since Top Gun. You know what I do almost every night? I go on Netflix or Amazon and I watch like 5 trailers and I'm like, fuck it, good night. I never pick. No, don't ever give me the run. I can't pick. I don't want to see anything.
But you get my point, though. Yeah. Hollywood's dying.
Yes,
but just because Hollywood's dying and what we've been used to growing up, especially in the 90s, it was just like the greatest era, like, of everything. I'm sure the 80s too. But all that's dying, right? So, but humanity still wants to be entertained. Why not take entertainment and merge it with truth? And that's what I'm going to continue to do from all aspects. So,
all right, brother. Have a great night. Thanks for coming on so late. Thanks for all your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Ciao.
Thanks, sir.
Sean Hibbeler. Wow. He is a force of nature.
Wow.
Wow.
Remember the last time we had him on? It was like 4 hours long.
Was it that long? That's what you said too. That it was that long, huh?
It was. It was crazy.
I would do that again with him too. It's just getting so late. There's like a million more topics I'd love to just like throw into his fucking giant brain and let him. He started running like 12-minute miles, and by the end he was fucking 4-minute miles. He warmed up.
I wanted him to unpack the whole like they have to tell you what they're gonna do first thing, because there was two separate things that he kind of oscillated between that I would like him to dig a little deeper. The first one was like they have to, because that's like the satanic ritual portion of it, right? Like I have to tell you what I'm gonna do and then do it. But then he kind of went into the legal side of it. So I'm just curious to see him just.
That's the first time I've heard it tied to the legal side. By the way, I had heard it before, like over the years. They have to tell you. The lizard people have to tell you first. But
yeah,
hey, on the fringes, it would be interesting to see where he goes on the fringes.
What do you mean?
Just
I think
like
we touched it on this episode, did we not? I mean,
I don't know.
For people in the chat, bro, when he started talking about the World War II stuff, I know that's going to hurt a lot of feelings out there. People are going to get really uptight about that one.
That was crazy.
Yeah, when he was like just on the fringes there, but you know, what'd be cool is to put the whole piece. So basically, in a nutshell, he thinks the world is run by gangs, which I think is fair, right? So there's the Muslim gang and the Jew gang, and like I want to ask him what he thinks about Putin, right? And like the different gangs and what he thinks about the China gang and the different mafias and like where the pyramid, how many people maybe are at the top, like the main warlords, right? And then there's little gang. Just he's kind of sees it as like that, and I think that's a fair assessment of the world. I think you could explain that without it being too conspiratorial. Yeah, like everyone's trying to make money, and obviously the people at the top have more levers or bigger levers to pull. But when I say on the fringe, like, does he believe in lizard people, or there's aliens harvesting emotional energy off us, or like, where does he go? Like, but then again, he's a flat earther too, so there's probably some shit in there, right? Like, what lives over the firmament form? Like, he has his own cosmology that's completely foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a TV in the background of his shot. You could only see it if it was like if I was screen sharing something. And it was just the fastest moving clip. Like it was just clip after clip after clip.
That TV behind him?
Yeah. And I just kept staring at it and it was tripping me out. And then I got like really into the details of his background and that started tripping me out. And then I just got lost. And I was like, damn, is this what it's like to get mind fucked or whatever they call it?
Was it a virtual background or was that his real background?
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
I thought it was like virtual at first and then I couldn't tell because remember when like Alex Stein would come on, he had like the fireplace behind him and like all that shit. It was like a virtual thing he set up. So I was like, I couldn't tell either.
I don't think very many people have round offices. I'll tell you that.
What's going on with our views, dude?
It's the content. I guarantee it.
You think like
I've
YouTube
never seen it do this
before?
before.
Want to listen to
it?
Do you think it's the word climate trails or Sean Hibbeler? Like, what do you think did this to the show? This is so fucking crazy.
It's the title, it's the thumbnail with him and contrails on it. Dude, my wife didn't even get a notification. I didn't get a notification for 30 minutes or that we were live.
No.
So where are the viewers I would like I can click on the breakdown. It's shit. Half
like
the
60
viewers are on
people.
X, dude.
Oh, really?
It's like, wow.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, because people were like, oh, there's only 17 people on YouTube, but we had way more people on here than they were claiming in the chat. So,
I mean, we started with like 12.
And the last time he was on, it was a big show. There were like 500 people.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
The chat was crazy. Like we got deep in the chat on that show because we had like 400 or 500 people watching and everybody was like, this guy's crazy.
And people were throwing money. People were throwing money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was wild.
Just to like say like a negative opinion about him. I enjoyed him this time more. Maybe his guard was down because he's already was with us before. So he kind of knew we weren't going to like set him up as like a gotcha or anything. But yeah, he goes quick.
He's cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, no one got notification.
Yeah. I mean, and I scheduled this like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like it's been on YouTube sitting.
You don't believe, even people like us who've been banned and kicked off of Instagram, I still have this block to believe that it ever happens. Do you know what I mean? Until like, but like, I can't imagine blocking a a flat earth movie. But
Maybe
and I don't believe the Earth is even remotely flat, even for a second. But here's what's crazy: they never block anything unless it's true. Like,
careful.
Hey, whoa.
Like that's they only just block the true shit.
Yeah, I think it was his, and he said it. He said he shouldn't have put my name on there. So I wonder if there's a tag to his name.
I got a notification. YouTube didn't push me the standard either.
I mean, you couldn't even find it. Like, usually it'll pop up on my YouTube app. Like, when I click on the app, it'll be like, oh, the Summon Podcast is live. Well, and it pushed me to like some affiliate commercial that was on there. And then, oh, wow, nice. And then,
so on the fringe, he must have some even like basically he started going to like, the whole country should be run by white dudes.
White Christians.
My feeling is obviously not that. I just think we need to let people in so we can culturally brainwash them at the right pace. Here's another part that I was there's so many places I wanted to dig in, but he was on such a roll. So
yeah,
you have to assume that he thinks all the elections are controlled and rigged. But then he did say that the 2020 election was stolen, but but I would think the little bit that I know him, that he thinks all elections are stolen. I don't know. Like they only allow the people to be elected who are supposed to be elected. I also would have liked to have asked him about Venezuela. What he thinks, what the fuck is going on over there. It's funny.
I could almost answer that for you.
What?
Anything that's happening outside of our country, we shouldn't even be involved in, unless it's a direct threat to us in some way.
Well,
otherwise,
the story
it's serving somebody else besides the American people.
Well, the story with Venezuela is that they basically rigged 27 national elections. This is the story behind this. You have to dig pretty deep to see this, and that they're in cahoots with Iran and China. And we're just using the fentanyl thing because it's more popular, and that saying the elections were stolen aren't popular. But they had this. They have an election machine that's in the country that basically Venezuela had control of, and they were just fucking manipulating elections. And someone told Trump that, and that's why he raised the bounty from 25 to 50 million, and he's just going after Maduro.
Like physically with like some sort of like digital lever or something.
Yes, like they basically
like change the votes or something.
It's not the. It starts with an S. The machines. It's not the Dominion ones. What are the other machines? If you start Googling around, you can start seeing more and more of it, and it's like it's not mainstream, but it's like there are some stories on it. Smartmatic, yes, these Smartmatic machines supposedly were being controlled by Maduro, and if it's $1 trillion enterprise, like people are saying, and shit, hey, you can go to Hibbeler's paradigm and just be like, hey, they got too big. And the Jews want them down. They got too much money. They got $1 trillion because they're controlling the two things that they're controlling are drugs and elections and oil. They got oil. They have energy. So you get oil and drugs and controlling elections, and you got too much power. So the Jews told Trump to go over there and ass pound him.
The Jews told Trump.
I mean, basically, he believes that Netanyahu has his thumb on Trump. That he's got Trump with little girls or something.
I don't think it. I think that's one of multiple mechanisms. You know what I mean? I don't believe that.
How many more do you need than that?
Right back to that.
I don't know if it's like a.
Why would you run again if you knew the first time they were controlling? Let's say I ran for president, and Israel's like, hey, we got you and Sousa fucking butt fucking each other, and I'm like, all right, and then they boss me around for 4 years, and then I'm out. Why would I run again?
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead, Gabe.
I'd be like, I'm out, dude. I don't like being under that. That.
I wonder if it's like a blackmail thing at all, or if it's just like they've been grooming. I mean, I say grooming, like they've been hooked up with Trump for so long that they're just like butt buddies, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get you. We're like gonna put you in on this path to do this thing. Like I don't know how to explain it other than just.
I do think they're
like
butt buddies. I do think that they're buddies.
Yeah.
I think they're very close.
I will say the one point that he made about how the Mossad, they just take forever to build up plans and like do and actually enact on them, like years and years and years. Well, that was the same thing with the pagers. If you look at the pagers, it was years.
Yeah,
of,
that's
they built a company.
100%.
They built up the There you go. Yeah.
Same thing with what?
The Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That started in the 90s, the early 90s.
So for those of you who don't know, Israel actually launched a telecommunications company that had brick and mortar stores and commercials and all that shit. And they built up this whole store. And then that store sold pagers to the bad guys. And then they blew up the fucking pagers. And so now you got to think, well, fuck, is General Motors or Ford or fucking AT&T, were they a front company that was just a IBM, just whatever, any of these huge giant companies, Microsoft, are they just fronts? And then they actually got big and successful, and now they're just these monstrosities that are fronts. They're like spy companies that are all in all our shit. Wow.
And here's the issue.
Steve
too,
Jobs.
like,
he was I think he was like Armenian and something else, an Arab.
You're talking about like the store and the commercials. That's the easy part. Like, how do you manufacture that shit and not have anybody know?
Yeah.
That's the hard part. And
to manufacture something that can explode that's the size of your AirPods.
This is a very, I think Sevan avoided asking about some controversial politics. I was trying to, so this is, I hope he doesn't take offense to this, but I was trying to keep it mostly in an area that didn't go even close to where we went to, so that it would bring more validity to the chemtrail part. Because you could be like, man, this chemtrail shit's real, and then all of a sudden this guy doesn't believe in the Holocaust, and fucking you throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
So I was trying to be, I was navigating.
Yeah.
I was trying to navigate. Oh, but it went off the rails. I mean, I completely failed. not like in my mission. You know what I mean?
The one thing too that people vastly underestimate, and just in the little bit of experience that I've had with trying to organize people in a collective way to achieve one collective goal, is really fucking hard. Really hard. So the bigger the thing is you're trying to accomplish, and the more people that go into that, the harder it is. People have it flipped in their minds. They go, well, how would you pull off something that big, or a heist with all that and all the people that were involved? All of them are just in on the lie. And I'm sitting here being like,
that's idiocy. I used to think like that too. That's idiocy.
Look at fucking, I mean, take any remote job that you have, like even some of the stuff that we do with Media Launch, and try to get all these people that are in different spots to do one thing and to collectively have it run down this process and system and be able to be repeated and done easily, systematically, is really fucking hard. And that's with everybody decentralized. Bring it into the gym and get your coaches to do the same thing that you want them to do and act in the same way when they're in the same building as you. And half the time you're watching them and it still doesn't work. So it's the opposite of what people think. It is much harder to have I mean, Caleb, for the military, you know how it is, right? You have crazy pecking order, crazy systems, crazy hierarchy, and it still erupts into chaos all the time. Like,
I still get in trouble for something I send in the WhatsApp, even though they told me not to send something in the WhatsApp. Like, it's 100%. That's 100% right. Like, we all get the same like level of brainwashing. We go through the basic training. We work with the same people. And then you get out to your unit, and you have numbnuts all over the place doing shit that you told them that they shouldn't be doing.
Yep. In the most optimistic sense, with no conspiracy theory added to it, the part that resonates the most with me and that was the most realistic, and I'm open to anyone proving me wrong, is, of course, let's assume the Holocaust is real. Of course, it's going to be in all the movies. It's going to be in all our school books. They've controlled all that. That's all easy to see. You can go back to the Rothschilds, and they were printing all the school books, and they did all that shit. And they were telling the stories, and they were writing the history, and the Jews were in Hollywood making all the movies. And those are the two biggest levers for programming people. And if it was someone else and it wasn't the Jews, let's say it was the Armenians, it would have been the Armenian genocide. And so I'm not saying it with any conspiratorial thing, but obviously if you're telling the story and you're writing the school books, you're going to write what your grandparents told you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it wasn't to manipulate. Let's say, I'm assuming it was real. Right. And so, and by the way, that's the whole thing. That's the thing when he says the Jews, 99%, let's say the Holocaust isn't real. 99% of the Jews do believe it is real. All the people who live in fucking Israel think that that land is fucking theirs, and they're not in on it.
Right.
They're brainwashed too.
I mean, to a certain extent, like we all are, yeah.
Right. Exactly. But the one small advantage we have over those people is we're willing to just explore. And the machine does not want you to explore, obviously, because the people who are sleeping and who are afraid to explore start to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find our little group.
Isn't that weird though? Like I've always just found that strange. Like if you have this conversation about whatever that pushes up against really like firm beliefs that people have, that it turns like for them, yeah, the flat earth thing, like it turns to like anger pretty quickly. And it's like, dude, I'm not even like, I'm just having
I just want to explore this with you, dog.
Yeah, I'm not like trying to convince you of anything. And for all I know, I'm completely wrong. For all you know, you're completely wrong. Like, what is it about the conversation that is so upsetting? That's the part that's weird to me, because there's way more people that are like that than people that are like us, that are just like could have the conversation like, yeah, that was kind of crazy, right? Okay, and we kind of like move on, right? Like it's not like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you guys are fucking idiots and I hate you now. You can never talk about that.
I feel that part of me like turn on every once in a while, and I'm like, oh, chill. I just want to explore this, and I just want to have that conversation, whatever. You know what I think is really funny is whenever we've had like Sean or any of the other flat earth guys on, they always bring up something that I've never heard of. And this time it was the Havara agreement.
Oh, yeah. What is that? I swear
every time they bring something up, I'm like, bullshit, I've never heard of this thing. There's no way. And I Google it immediately, and sure enough, there's a Wikipedia page on it, or there's a bunch of other information. I know he's probably gonna say Wikipedia is bullshit, whatever, but I found something on it. And I'm like, oh wow, this is okay, well, I've never heard of this before, and this is how like superficial my understanding of the world is. But the Havara agreement is something that let's see, the agreement was finalized after 3 months. It authorized German Jews to migrate to Palestine between 1933 and 1939. Got like 60,000 German Jews were able to leave the country and move to Palestine.
Wow.
So,
hey, I've been meaning to bring this up. This is totally fucking off topic, but the greatest male ice skater, greatest ice skater ever is alive right now of all fucking time. And they say that no one will ever be better than him. And if you want to see, you want to type in his name, you can just type in greatest male ice skater. But I watched this the other day and it's fucking mind boggling. And I'm not into ice skating at all, but he's doing quadruple axles. When 20 years ago, like people were barely doing triple axles, and he's doing multiple of them, and he scores the highest points like that anyone has scored in ice skating ever. I just kept meaning I needed to say that on the show at least one point. And here's the thing. Let me see if it'll do it. Let me see. Oh, this isn't the one. But in one that he won recently, he does a narration while he's ice skating.
What?
Damn.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And the shit is all about wisdom. It says if everything you know is wrong, everything you know keeps you away from wisdom. It's a crazy, but it's him talking. It's cool. The guy's really cool. So if you want to go down a rabbit hole of the world's greatest ice skater, it's pretty crazy. I know that was off the
No, that was good. That brought that like helped kind of start the descent, right? Calm this down a little bit. We're from like World War II didn't happen to like, all right, we could calm down now.
We talked about chemtrails a little bit.
I mean, we talked about it a good amount.
All right,
brought
good.
up climate trails pretty regularly.
From Jew hating to ice skating, the Sevon podcast.
That's the only part that I don't like about the discussions is times where labels are put, all groups are lumped up against it, and then there's an evil. I don't think there's evil groups. I think there's evil people, and then I think you get pulled into it by groupthink.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to like resist the downward pull of the group, any group. Doesn't matter. One 11 to 13-year-old boy is nice and sweet. Put 5 of them together, get a pile of rocks, and fucking look out. Someone's throwing out a car, someone's throwing out each other, someone's throwing out a house. Next thing you know, your friend Casey Plunkett shooting the back of the house with the paintball gun, and you all just run from the cops. Nobody thought twice about it. And then somebody thought it was a good idea to shoot the paintball gun at the cops. And now guess what? You're all hemmed up on the curb. They're calling your mom. You're all pissed off. Your mom's pissed off, and you would have never done that shit on your own. Shout out Casey Plunkett.
50. I just looked up. Did the Jews bring slaves to North America?
Oh yeah, I wanted to know. I was like, how far? Like, what do you mean dig deeper? I thought the blacks brought the blacks.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang it!
I'm so confused. I can feel my brain like I can feel like steam coming out of my ears and like my head's getting hot when he starts talking about stuff. I'm like, what? What do you mean? My whole reality is just becoming unraveled.
The weirdest part is when he said white power, I got uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude! Most
I'm
people
just a guy, man.
Most people mistake me for Mexican, bro. What you talking about? But then he's right. He was like, any other one could like say and have a march or do like whatever they want. It's totally cool. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm looking at I wanted to look at the stats for this show. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm very curious what the impressions are for this show.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
it won't
show me.
1%.
It won't show me the impressions now.
You guys like my purple shirt?
I thought it was maroon. That looks nice though.
It's a long view duration though. The people who found the show stayed and watched it.
we didn't have a deep audience, but you know what? They're faithful.
Wow, is this true? Dan Crenshaw banned from international travel for 3 months after an alcohol incident. Wow.
Oh, that's awesome. What a douchebag.
You're not allowed to drink your tequila on the plane. We all know that.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Dan Crenshaw disputes report he was banned from foreign travel for out drinking. That's awesome. The incident involved him toasting a crude joke made by a Mexican official that reportedly made a woman president uncomfortable. I mean, if you've heard the toasts that like mill guys give, it's probably gonna piss somebody off.
Yeah. You can't come in or come on her. Salute.
That's right. Exactly. That's a classic.
Buddies in the military too.
Wow.
Good one.
Dan's posted about it. He says the big problem with this clickbait story, I was booked to go on an overseas CODEL, which was fully approved by the House Ethics from October 1st to October 6th this year. The CODEL was canceled right before departure due to government shutdown, but not due to any so-called travel ban. This is a fact. People can pull receipts. Once again, we are dealing with usual media playbook of publishing sensational stories based on anonymous sources and incorrect facts.
Fake news, dog.
But
oh, and the stories behind a paywall.
Of course.
So he copied and pasted it.
The apologies behind a paywall too.
Sorry, guys. I truly wish I had a better story to tell you about my time in Mexico, but the truth is, in fact, boring. I'm shocked. That punch bowl would try to sell you subscription with clickbait headlines. Super shocked. All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to go to one of those debates.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's
well.
funny
Did
that
you
it's
see?
Atlantic
Did you
City.
see? Did you see that? When he said that debate, he automatically said, "And maybe the pro-feminists will wake up."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, that's. I don't know. There's a little bit of bias there. I mean, I agree, but If you're running the debate,
I don't think he's moderating it. He's just like helping host it. But yeah, no, I agree.
But he's coming in with an agenda. It's kind of
Yeah.
you're making. It's hard to deny that. We're gonna have a debate, and I really hope you guys agree with me at the end.
God, everything on my Twitter feed is worth watching. It's crazy. Amazing. All right. There's so many questions so many good things to bring up. All right. See you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Will you be here, Caleb?
Yes.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks, Caleb. Thanks, Souza. Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah. Thank you.
Open your aperture. Who benefits for this? All right. Thanks.
God, I love that people say that. That's right.
Right.
Fucking open that shit up.
Oh, maybe I should. Okay, here we go.
My ret is on Ozempic. What? Can you tell? It's actually not Ozempic, but you're not going to understand what this thing is. It's called Triple G, otherwise known as retatrutide. Now I know what you're thinking. Your ret isn't fed. Your ret is on testosterone. Why would your ret need a weight loss drug? It doesn't. And actually, nobody really needs it. It was intended for people with type 2 diabetes. The same way that Rogaine and Viagra were made for people with blood pressure issues and ended up making you grow hair and making you weak. The side effect of Ozempic, tirzepatide, and now retatrutide is dramatic weight loss. I've been using this stuff for about 6 weeks now. I started at 196 and now I'm at 185. It works. I know you're probably pissed, but my lab rat was curious. My lab rat wanted to see what this Triple G was all about. It wanted to see the thing that's making all these changes for all these people. The same way that lab rats are using testosterone, BBC 157, TB 500, melanotan, sermorelin, and ipamorelin, the rat figured it would be nice to speak from experience. That rat will be using Triple G for the next 12 to 16 weeks. If you want to do what that rat's doing, you can go check out Biomax Peptides. Get your